The first video game related memory I can think of is my dad letting me play ATV Off-Road Fury on this PS2. I had no idea what I was doing and thought that tilting the controller made the ATV turn for some reason. I don't know, man, I was a dumb kid, alright? Another one of my earliest gaming memories was playing Lego Batman on this same PS2 with my brother. And for some reason I also remember this weird Shrek sledding game, like, what the fuck was this? But eventually when my brother got his very own Xbox 360, my dad very graciously just basically let me have his PlayStation 2. And he would occasionally buy me games for it like Jak and Daxter or Crash Bandicoot Twinsanity. Who could forget Tag Team Racing? That shit was fire! But also much to my mom's dismay, he would sometimes get me M-rated video games, such as God of War 2 or Resident Evil 4, which scared the shit out of me so bad. That intro was spooky as hell, dude. I used to have to turn around and look over my shoulder to make sure no one was standing behind me. And one day as we went to Walmart, he said I could pick out a video game, so we made our way over to the PS2 section, because this story takes place back when that shit still existed. There I saw it, Grand Theft Auto, the trilogy. I don't know what it was about these games that enticed me so much. Maybe it was the cool ass art design or the sick back of the box. Whatever it was, I wanted it, and I wanted it bad. I did sink the next several years of my PlayStation 2 into playing these games. I absolutely sucked at them and never really made any progress, but I played the shit out of them regardless. Although I loved all three of these games, there was one in particular that stuck out to me, Vice City, but I never completed it as a kid. It wasn't until a few months ago, almost 22 years after the game came out, that I finally finished it, and it was one of the best choices I've made all year. I love Vice City, and I think it's taught me how to properly love video games again.
Tommy Vercetti? Shit. Didn't think they'd ever let him out.
He kept his head down, helps people forget.
People will remember soon enough. When they see him walking down the streets of their neighborhoods, it will be bad for business.
Well, what are we gonna do, Sonny?
Oh, shit! We've been talking about expanding down south, right? Vice City is 24 karat gold these days. The Colombians, the Mexicans, hell, even those Cuban refugees are cutting themselves a piece of some nice action.
Ah, well, I hope you're having a good time, because I'm going out of my mind with worry here. What did you find out?
That there are more criminals in this town than in prison.
I want what you want, brother.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
Your green and my dead brother's white thing. United States, guess what? There's no more room.
The hell are you doing?
You should have stayed at home today.
I'm gonna yoke you up, son. It's very helpful. Maybe a neighbor is trying.
I trusted you, Tommy. I would have had you made. Say goodnight, Mr. Diaz.
GTA Vice City, where the fuck do I even begin, man? You probably know it, and you also probably love it. It's a violent, insane, and gory affair that takes heavy inspiration from films like Scarface, and also Miami Vice. You can't go wrong for little Miami Vice. Those two elements come together perfectly, almost insultingly well. I think Vice City is where the franchise really found its footing and became the great series that we know it as today. GTA 3 was already really good, but Vice City just took it one big, huge step further. Some fucking Neil Armstrong shit. And can you believe that this was originally just gonna be an expansion to GTA 3? A lot of you guys are saying yes right now, and a lot of you are confused as fuck, and that makes sense. GTA Vice City was developed and released in the span of about 9 months. I'm not joking. This is something that Sam Houser confirmed himself. They basically took the already fun gameplay of the previous game and expanded on it in several ways. They added new weapons, new vehicles, new flying fucking planes, and even boats. And of course, a huge new city to go along with it. A brand new, bright and vibrant playground for the players to enjoy slaughtering the masses in. And it wasn't until a couple months into production that somebody went, hey, this thing that we just made is so good, why don't we just turn it into its own fucking video game? But this process would be much more difficult than expected, as Rockstar would run into many problems during development. No, I don't just mean the grenade launcher didn't work properly. It actually didn't end up in the game at all, thank you. No, I mean like proper legal problem shit. But we'll talk about that in a minute, okay? Just wait. I'm literally a floating head right now. The least you can do is let me yap. Before we begin this segment, I should disclose that I found basically all of this information on the fan wiki, which is super helpful. So I'll be sure to link that in the description below because we cite our sources around here. The game went through a surprising amount of changes in the short time that it was being made. Let's look at some of the early character concept sketches. Kent Paul looks like that guy who was definitely high on Adderall when I worked at Taco Bell. Let me just explain that real quick. I was working once when I was a high school teenager. I don't know what else of age you would be in high school, but whatever. I was working one of my totally lovely shifts at fucking Taco Bell, and there was a major storm going on outside, like thunder, lightning, super heavy rain. It was fucking insane. I see this guy just strolling down the street, soaked in rain, the biggest grin on his face. He walks into my Taco Bell and he comes up to the counter, and then I asked him at the end of his order if he'd like to round up for whatever to help kids in college. I don't remember what it was, but like, you know how they do those things at fast food places where like, you want to round up. This one was like some kind of charity relating to college kids, I guess. And he was just like, nah, man, fuck school, man, fuck. I had to drop out of fucking middle school, man. They were teaching me a bunch of fucking lies, filling my head up with goddamn nonsense. And one of my old coworkers, who was also a dropout, I guess, said like, yeah, for real, man, I dropped out too. And that made him even more excited because then he was like, this guy gets it. Anyway, and did you know Lance Fans was originally based off Eddie Murphy?
What?
Specifically Axel Foley from the Beverly Hills Cop movies. That new one was pretty good, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I always love looking at Rockstar's concept art because a lot of it remains somewhat the same as you would expect, but sometimes you'll see some wildly different ideas. It's almost like we're in some multiverse variant shit right now. Like I said though, some are relatively the same, like Avery Carrington and Tommy himself, only showing minor changes over the course of their development. Tommy was originally wearing a different shirt, more blue like this one, and his face was different because I don't think they were trying to take as much inspiration from Ray Liotta at the time. And someone like Ken Rosenberg was originally meant to be way older, and stuff like that always interests me because I have to wonder if they had the foresight to think that like, hey, we should include this character in the next game, so don't make him super old in this one because he'll probably be dead by the time the next game happens.
Ah, yes. Tommy Vercetti, please. Tell him Ken Rosenberg called. Ken Rosenberg, you haven't heard of me? Who are you? Ken Rosenberg. Rosenberg. Oh, really? You told him I called? Look, I made that ingrate, and now he won't take my calls? Just put him on the phone right now! Hello? Hello?
This is so exciting, Tommy. It's like old times. Who the fuck is Tom?
And you can also find concept art here for some cut characters like Pastor Richard, someone you see for like 2 seconds in the boat party, but you never meet him again after that. He was originally meant to be a much more intricate character, a corrupt pastor that you would have done a few different jobs for. It's not entirely certain why they cut this, but if I had to guess, they were probably just trying to avoid as much controversy as they could at that point, because I'm sure Rockstar devs were fucking sick of getting sued all the time.
My brothers, my sisters, they've been taken from me by a snake!
He's described as a maniac firebrand preacher obsessed with money, has written several books, all completely fabricated. I found that straight on the fan wiki, by the way. There's a few other cut characters that interest me in this game, like this character named Mr. Moffat. There's not very much information on who this is, like at all, but it's heavily implied that he would have been somebody that Tommy knew from Liberty City beforehand. We would have had to do a mission for him where we help him lose the police, and then possibly some other missions to make up for whatever went down between him and Tommy in the past. We'll never know. But some characters got lucky and only had their names changed, like Ricardo being changed from Fernando to Ricardo. Cam Jones was originally Mike Jones, and BJ Smith was originally BJ Jones, so some Indiana Jones brothers? Still a super unfortunate first name regardless, and if that's not your like actual name, then no offense, why would you go by that? And Avery's name used to just be Sergio. that's kind of cool, I guess. A lot of the other changes are really minor stuff that you wouldn't notice unless you were looking for it. Like Lance's suit changing colors, as it was originally a purple and black design, and then they decided to go with the white and purple. There's also, of course, some more cut missions that I didn't mention before, like the infamous Gator Keys one with Avery Carrington that I feel like a lot of people seem to know about now. There also would have been another Interglobal Movie Studios mission that you would have received over the phone, and apparently the ending for Love Fist side plot was going to be different, where the Psycho fan was going to return at their concert and you would have to defend them from the Psycho fan, which we'll talk more about later. We'll talk more about that in like an hour. I'm not even joking. You can go ahead and take a quick peek at the rest if you want to. I didn't think they were interesting enough to list all of them, but it's still kind of cool. But just taking a brief glance at some of these here, I have to say the changes they made are a lot better. Like, look at Cap the Collector. That would have only had one fucking dude. How is that threatening at all? So Big Tone, you're telling me that this guy Tommy out of Vice City is he's like a one-man army and he's taking over the entirety of the city and putting our drug trade business to shame? You better send one guy to go teach him a lesson. Just one guy, our best guy. No, fuck that, our third best guy. Aside from just Gator Keys, there were actually other cut locations in the game. One of the most well-known ones is Shady Acres, a sunny and bright suburban neighborhood full of nothing but snowbirds.
I'm a VIP, and I want to live around people just like myself, rich and divorced.
Shady Acres.
I'm Everett Karen. Shady Acres is an incredible, upscale, state-of-the-art, top-notch condominium development. A short drive out of town on some pristine wetlands, away from the noise and uninvited diversity of the city.
Shady Acres.
And when you buy into that dream that is Shady Acres, not only do you get a luxurious 5,000 square foot condo with underground parking for your newly acquired sports car, but there's also a jacuzzi for entertaining.
Jacuzzi.
Each condo is tastefully furnished with a stock bar and an exotic waterbed shaped like a dollar sign. Shady Acres also has a golf range, firing range, helipad, and exotic petting zoo. When your kids come to visit, you're successful. Start defining your lifestyle. Start defining yourself.
Shady Acres.
Shady Acres. Happiness is worth the price.
Shady Acres.
You can still hear Avery Carrington talking about it on the in-game radio. The airport was originally going to be much bigger and was going to feature an even longer runway, and Pete's Biker Emporium would have actually been a place that you could just enter and hang out at if you want to, instead of just in the cutscenes. You can still actually see the inside of this place in the game. In the Hyman Memorial Stadium didn't even exist. I'm not joking. They added that shit really late into development, which will probably explain why sometimes when you're playing through that one mission, your game will just crash and you won't ever be able to save it again after that. That's a real thing that can happen. So if you're gonna try to 100% complete this game, do that as soon as you fucking can, because there's like a, I don't even know, 30, maybe even 50% chance that your game would just be fucked. There's obviously cool weapons that were cut, like the grenade launcher, which you can still actually see in one of the trailers, the 10-year anniversary trailer nonetheless, which is surprising. And you can even get silly shit like a taser, nail gun, or a stapler. What is this, Dead Rising? Oh no. Whoa, buddy. Are you really gonna show a fucking Dawn of the Dead parody level mixed with some Dead Rising music? Are you trying to get us sued like that one time that the people who made Dawn of the Dead tried to sue Capcom over Dead Rising? I'm not making that up, that's a real thing that happened. Hi, my name is Richard Sucks, and no, I don't prefer dick. Video game developers, let me tell you, they be getting sued a lot, and GTA was no exception to that rule. Much like its predecessor, GTA Vice City was heavily criticized for the insane violence that it depicted on screen. Some people, such as Jack Thompson, infamous former attorney and overall piece of shit, really hated this game and still doesn't like any of them. You might know him as the guy who referred to Bully as a Columbine simulator. Yeah. In the early 2000s, he was one of the main proprietors of that whole video games cause real life violence to IRL violence because video game. If you're in your 20s or 30s and you heard that shit a lot from your parents, you have this motherfucker to blame for it. He's one of the people who are very responsible for pushing that false and frankly ridiculous and factually unproven theory. Also, one of the reasons he tried to get Bully taken off the shelves is because you can kiss boys in it, and that's gay. I'm not making that up. That's true.
The conservative Christian attorney says he is on a mission to protect children from evil. Evil in the form of popular games like Bully, Manhunt, and Grand Theft Auto. To him, this is not entertainment. It is a murder simulator.
You're kicking, punching, ultimately shooting, cutting the heads off of people with machetes of people you don't even know and don't have a motive to be violent against.
Yeah, let me stop you right there, Jack. Have you ever actually played one of these games before? Because what the fuck do you mean, no motive? I think GTA NPCs might be some of the most heinous and evil motherfuckers I've ever had the misfortune of having to come across in my life. You just frankly walk past them on the sidewalk, and they take that as a personal threat, and will say the meanest fucking shit to you that you could ever imagine.
Then I got musty!
GTA NPCs will make you insecure about things that you didn't know you were insecure about. Or it'll just be Tyler, the creator, yelling about potato salad or something.
Hey, you like potato salad? Cause I like potato salad, nigga.
To support his insane claim that video games cause real-life violence, he would name drop and use examples of real-life tragedies because he has no fucking empathy whatsoever. Imagine being one of the parents of the victims of like Columbine or something and having to see some fucking George Bush look-alike use your kid's tragic story as an excuse to go after a fucking video game. His argument was that these video games were actually murder simulators and were properly teaching children how to go about it. While going after Vice City in particular, he brought up a specific case of a teenage boy shooting a cop and stealing his car, and directly blamed this video game for teaching him how to do both those things. You know, those things that like are kind of self-explanatory, and most teenagers can figure them out if they haven't already done them. Most teenagers have driven a car at least once. A lot of teenagers, especially in America, have used a gun before, and even if they haven't, it's pretty self-explanatory. And the fact that he thinks this would legitimately qualify as a murder simulator is very funny to me, because even at the time, I think these games' violence was kind of cartoonish in a way. The bullets didn't sound like real bullets. They created these huge smoke clouds when you would shoot the guns. The blood was super light red and really fake looking, and every single person in this game dies in the exact same manner no matter what happens, so it doesn't feel that realistic to me. This dude tried to sue Rockstar more times than I can count, and he still hates him to this day, according to this interview I found from a few years ago. I'll be sure to link the actual article below if you want to check it out yourself. Americans are famous for moving on. We have the attention span of a mosquito. Churchill said that when most people stumble across the truth, they pick themselves up, dust themselves off, and move on as if nothing happened. What pissed people off about me is that I didn't do that. I'm 70. I'm still here. I haven't died yet. No, I think the reason people were pissed was because you kept up this horrible and frankly super harmful narrative that a fictional thing could cause someone in real life to have violent tendencies just out of nowhere. But according to actual mental health professionals, these guys who did these terrible things just happened to like the video games. Much like for most people, they were a form of escapism for them. But the escapism at some point wasn't enough, so they actually went out and hurt somebody. They couldn't distract themselves from their true feelings and terrible thoughts that they had been having their whole lives. It wasn't just a video game that put them there. It made me sick to my stomach when I asked Jack Thompson what he thought when he first saw Grand Theft Auto up close. I was in my house. I put Grand Theft Auto 3 in a video game console, and it was very disturbing. You weren't passively watching something, you were participating in it. Dude, I got a crazy idea. Turn off the console. Like, this reminds me of that one Elon Musk tweet from a little bit ago where he was like, I couldn't even make it 5 minutes into GTA 5. Just the way they forced you to kill those police officers who all look exactly the same and all probably have wives and kids at home who also look exactly the same as them. He then goes on to pretty much say that the reason he kept this up for so long was because he liked the attention it would get him. And he also said it was unfair that his law license was suspended in 2007. Hate to break it to you, dude, but that's what happens when you commit 31 lawyer violations. Typically, when someone doesn't do their job right, they get fired. I know, it's a crazy concept, dude.
Have you lost your mind? Do you think I'm gonna let you do this to me?
I'll just go on to sum up the rest because nobody wants to hear me talk about Jack Thompson all day, but he basically goes on to say that he still holds the exact same opinions, he's not sorry at all for any of the damages he's caused over the years, and he won't be accepting any apologies either. I'm not kidding, he said that. Yeah, real quick, Jack, what would anybody ever have to apologize to you for? If it was somehow revealed to be true that video games did directly cause violence, but how would that change people's public opinion on you? They would still know you as a lawyer who has committed 31 violations and allegedly sexually harassed another fucking attorney for a year straight just because she rejected you. If you want more information on that, please go watch the Swegta video by all means. If they didn't take you seriously 20 years ago when we knew less about video games than we do now, then they sure as fuck aren't going to take you seriously today. For one, I'm just surprised that such a rushed product can be turned into such a great and solid game. It's packed with so much damn content, it's got plenty of exciting places to explore, missions to do, interesting characters to meet, fun mini games to engage with, a shit ton of new weapons, and over 100 new vehicles for you to drive. You can also buy properties to live in, and you can even store a couple vehicles in the garage here. This is the garage! And who can forget about the businesses that you can buy, run, and then get passive income from daily once you beat all the missions for them. Would you rather get $1 million right now or deliver 50 drug-laced ice cream cones? I choose the latter option. That's passive income, baby. The game might not have deep messages like GTA 4 or as intricate of characters as in San Andreas, but it's still a super engaging story from beginning to end, filled with lots of twists and turns, interesting and memorable characters, and lots of Ray Liotta getting mad and saying heinous shit to people.
What is your mate tried to jump him? Didn't jump high enough, if you know what I mean.
Where did he take him?
In
Plain English.
The game opens with a Liberty City mobster named Sonny Forelli. He and his buddies are discussing the idea of expanding their business to Vice City, which is currently the place to be if you want to make money from drugs and weapon trafficking. Sonny proposes the idea that instead of doing all that hard work themselves, they'll send one of their guys named Tommy Vercetti down there to get the operation started. Tommy has spent the last 15 years in prison after a job gone wrong. Sonny sent him to kill someone, but it was actually a setup, and because of that he got locked up for a long ass time. Sonny plans to use him as he's just kind of a pawn for their operation at this moment, so Tommy and a few others travel to Vice City in order to meet up with a corrupt lawyer by the name of Ken Rosenberg, who's become a fan favorite over the years due to his over-the-top personality.
Now, I've talked to the suppliers, and they are very keen to start a business relationship. So, if all goes well, we should be doing very nicely for ourselves, which is, you know, good. Okay, so they're brothers, okay? One operates the business, and the other one does the flying.
They all head to their first deal in Vice City, and right as they're about to exchange the goods, this happens.
Oh, shit!
This is one of my favorite setups in the entire franchise. I don't think anything will ever come close to the opening of GTA 4 with that frankly stellar theme song and interesting setup from the get-go, but this is probably my second favorite in all honesty. It immediately intrigues you in this story and the characters that it has to offer. Who even is Tommy Vercetti and who the fuck are these guys? Who set up the deal and why? This story's not groundbreaking or anything, and honestly just feels like the plot to a pretty good 80s crime movie, and I think I kinda like the simplicity of that. Tommy's one of my personal favorite protagonists from the entire series. His cocky and fuck all of you attitude is just so, like, I don't know, it's addicting. It's so fun to watch. He was apparently not that easy to work with and didn't really understand how important what he was doing was, and that the fact that this is a pretty big deal even though it's just a video game. And then when the game came out, he said something about like, oh, I should have asked him for more money, and then the Rockstar devs were like, or fuck you, we could just kill your character off. I really hope that Tommy's still alive out there somewhere, just like in spirit.
The drugs, and I'm gonna mail you the dicks of those responsible.
And to be honest, looking at this little controversy all these years later as a third-party member, I'd say both of their perspectives are understandable. You can't really blame the devs for being upset that he was difficult to work with, because no one wants to work with someone who doesn't understand what the hell's going on.
I was never the Pac-Man guy.
And you also can't really blame Ray Liotta for not understanding the importance of this project. He's made it very clear in the years since that he had basically no idea what video games entailed.
When you do this game,
people, you know, you think, okay, I'm just going to do this voice. It's not a big deal. And then it became a huge hit, and it's sort of part of the pop culture now. Is that surprising to you?
Totally. So I had no idea. I'm not a game player. I was never a Pac-Man guy when that first game came out. I was never into that stuff at all.
It's not cool to say, I was a big Ms. Pac-Man guy. I gobbled up all those glowing blue.
In terms of any kind of games, I never played any games, and this was like, it's just like it sold like 8 million units. It's like a $400 million movie. It's like,
it's huge. Yeah, it's like you're in a huge hit movie.
Huge. And it was fun. You know, you're just sitting there cursing at people. So, you know, it was fun to do.
Like, that's fun. You just went to a booth and cursed at people went crazy for a while, and they accidentally sent it to the SpongeBob people when it went on the air.
He had no idea that this game would be more successful than some of his movies even until he saw the numbers and it hit him like a goddamn train. I like to imagine somewhere out there in the multiverse, Ray and the devs made back up and did some kind of conclusion for Tommy's story. But I don't know how likely that would have been anyway, since the Grand Theft Auto franchise has never really been one for returning characters. They'll show up as cameos, but they're never really playable. The only time I can really think that they did this was with Claude Speed all the way back in GTA 3 as he was making a return from the second game. But regardless of all the problems and the he said she said bullshit, I still think it's cool as hell that casting even happened to begin with. He even won an award for it back when the Game Awards was super fucking strange. Like, what the hell's happening here? Why are there so many cheerleaders? Why is this guy so high up?
Thank you. Thanks. For some reason, I've had trouble my whole life convincing people that I really am a very nice guy. And now that I'm in Vice City, well, forget about it. Thanks to all the guys at Rockstar, and I'm looking forward to the next one. Thank you.
And his character became so iconic that the other crime games at the time, such as Driver 3 or Driv 3er, were trying to parody it. Meet Timmy Vermicelli, a parody of Tommy that walks around in Driver 3, dressed in a similar fit but wearing these pool floaties because his ass can't swim. But the problem with this parody is that the character is surprisingly strong. He'll kick the shit out of you if you run into him and don't have the proper weapons to deal with him. Cause nothing says parody like making the character you're trying to mock a badass. I just love Ray Liotta, man. Everything I've seen of his is great, from Goodfellas to the Bubble Poppin' Boys. It's always been great to see him in anything. Let me just show you a quick excerpt of one of his last interviews that just fucking killed me. This is from The Guardian, by the way. I'll be sure to link that below. Jesus Christ, there's so many links in this video. I asked, attempting to butter him up, if he was aware of his amazing screen presence. Nah, not really. He was adopted but found his birth mother as an adult. Did that really change his sense of self? Not really. What's his approach to acting? Just play pretend. Rest in peace, Ray Liotta. You'll definitely be remembered. We'll probably never see something like this again since Rockstar now uses way fewer famous actors than they did before. Hell, this game probably has some of the biggest names of the entire franchise due to our boy Ray, Gary Busey, Danny Trejo, Dennis Hopper, and fucking Burt Reynolds. Jesus. It's so cool hearing these iconic voices in this game. All these elements come together perfectly in order to make an almost timeless game work so well. And after that crazy introduction, the real fun can begin. This is Vice City, and right away it leaves a lasting impression on you. This starting island is called Vice Beach, and it's one of my favorite spots in the entire game. It's set up in a way that's easy to memorize and navigate, so you won't have to constantly be referring to the map all the time. And the map itself has so much detail that you'll probably be able to recognize where you are just from looking around anyway. There's bright neon lights, a long beautiful beach with a lighthouse at the end of it that's apparently haunted. It has several parking garages, boat docks, glowing, vibrant gas stations. Like, this is the coolest gas station I've ever seen. And the city also has these cool rivers and streams that kind of run through the roads. You can see them under bridges and things like that. And I think that's a really cool detail, and I kind of wish that they had utilized it more. It's nice that it's there and I can take a boat ride out through these whenever I want, but like, this is just kind of a side tangent. I really wish boats are more important in these games, man. Do you know how cool it would be in like GTA 6 Online to like wake up in my private fucking drug lord mansion, walk into my backyard where I have a bunch of docks, and then just take out a speedboat and go fucking cruising? That would be so sick. Because the way I gotta do it in GTA 5 right now makes me feel like a poor person. Oh, you're telling me I have to drive all the way over to this ugly ass dock, and then all I get to do is ride my boat around in this ugly ass rivers of LA? Ugh. The south side of the island even has a tool and a gun store, which are very helpful because whenever you die in this game or get arrested, you will lose all of that. If you only ever played GTA 5 before, got bad news for you guys. It also has this fully fleshed out mall that you can go inside, and it constantly has customers going around and buying shit in. And then there's also another smaller mall that's more outside based on the other side of the island. I just love small details like that, man. Where you only really have to go in these locations like once for a story mission, but they're constantly accessible to you anyway. Vice Beach just has so much detail, man, and it's not even the fucking half of it when it comes to this map. I remember being so excited when I was a kid and realizing that I could finally navigate the map without having to pull up the actual map in the game. I just knew where I was going as soon as I got on a road. This map is so fleshed out and so alive feeling that it honestly feels more like a world that exists on its own than a lot of new open world games do. And it has so many secrets and Easter eggs hidden in it too. Remember in GTA 3 when you could jump over that one wall and find a little sign that said like, hi? You know, well, imagine that, but fucking double it, because GTA Vice City has like so many more random ass Easter eggs in it. Like this guy that you can find at the bottom of the ocean with fucking cinder blocks chained to his legs, which is allegedly a real thing that the mob would do to people. In other morbid details, you can find a stand that's selling fucking human organs, and you can also find where they apparently filmed the fake moon landing. I'm not saying it's fake, okay? I'm just telling you that there's an Easter egg that says it's fake. You can also find a huge submarine near the North Point Mall. I don't know why it's here or what purpose it serves. You can't even drive it or anything, obviously, but it's pretty fucking cool. But my absolute favorite thing about this game and its world is how you're just dropped into it. It really just throws you in and says, yeah, figure it out. The island is also littered with collectibles like these secret packages that kind of look like little tiki statues. If you find all 100, you'll unlock the Hunter, a powerful attack helicopter that spawns at the military base endlessly. Weapon pickups are hidden in plain sight. Just about every weapon in the game can be found somewhere in the map. You can also find these glowing purple orbs, which will contain one of 5 things. A heart, which will regen your health back to 100. The star, which will eliminate one of your wanted levels. The pill, which just puts the game in slow motion, but there's literally a cheat code that can do this as well, so I don't know what the point of this is. One contains a shirt, and these indicate when you can change into a new outfit. There's lots of them around the map, and you'll even unlock more as the game continues. This was before the era of crazy customization that would come with these characters, but all you can really do is switch from like a suit to a fucking Hawaiian shirt, but I kind of like that the option's there, at least. But whenever you die, you'll be changed back into your regular outfit, which I can live with because it's a fucking dope starter outfit, and the last of which contains a skull, and I'll talk more about these when I get to the side content. That's about all you have access to for now though, because the bridges are all currently blocked off, but you'll be able to unlock more of the map as you complete the story. Speaking of which,
that was my money, Tommy! My money!
Fuck you, fuckboy.
Tommy Vercetti is a cold-blooded gangster who grew up in Liberty City and quickly got involved in the mod life. He works for a man named Sonny Forelli, and for several years in his late teens into his early 20s, he basically did whatever this man wanted, and he did it well. You need a car stolen? He's the guy. You need a dude whacked? He's your fucking guy.
I'm the guy. The real guy.
Tommy meant business and was a very reliable and loyal employee, but then Sonny sold his ass out for some money. He sent Tommy on a job where he knew he would get arrested, and he got to reap the reward of turning in this criminal. What a fucking piece of shit. Tommy spends 15 years in prison as he kept his mouth shut and never snitched, but as he's finally let out in 1986 and immediately goes back to work for Sonny again, Sonny acts all nicey nice as if he wasn't the one who set Tommy up, and immediately convinces him to lead another super large job. He has to go all the way to Vice City with a few other dudes, start a drug trade with another gang, and slowly build up an operation for Sonny to eventually come and take over. What a lazy prick. Also, if you tried to count how many times the word prick is said in this game, I think you might have a fucking aneurysm and die.
Hey, make me, you prick.
I asked that prick on stage. He said you're the real deal, my friend.
These pricks have failed me miserably.
We're gonna have to take out that prick Diaz before he takes us out.
You stupid pricks!
Tommy and his oddly similar looking buddies are picked up at the airport by a lawyer named Ken Rosenberg. They go to meet with a man named Vic Vance, a large-scale drug lord running his business operations in Vice City. Despite his short appearance, he's actually quite important to the lore of this game, as the prequel game that came out 4 years later would center entirely around him and his little brother Lance, who we'll meet later. I was considering covering that game as well, but this video is already fucking long as hell, so I think that will have to wait for another day. As the deal goes horribly fucking wrong, Tommy tries to get some rest to think things through, but is immediately called by Sonny in the morning, who isn't happy.
Doing time for the family is no piece of cake, but the family looks after its own, okay? So how'd the deal go down? You sitting on some white gold?
Look, Sonny, we were set up. The deal was an ambush. Harry and Lee are dead.
You better be kidding me, Tommy! Tell me you still got the money.
No, Sonny. I don't have the money.
That was my money, Tommy! My money! You better not be screwing me, Tommy, because you know I'm not a man to be screwed with!
Wait, Sonny. You have my personal assurance that I'm gonna get you your money back, and the drugs, and I'm gonna mail you the dicks of those responsible.
Hey, I already know that. You're not a fool, Tommy, but I warn you. Neither am I. If it was anybody else, you'd be dead already. But because it's you, because we got history, I'm gonna let you handle this.
Look, Sonny, you got my word.
I'll be in touch.
Knowing the severity of this situation and not wanting to wind up dead right after getting out of prison, Tommy wastes no time in trying to get the money back. He goes back to Ken's office to figure out their next move.
Go get some sleep, he says. I have been sitting in this chair all night with the lights off, drinking coffee. This is a disaster. We are so screwed, man. These gorillas, listen to me, are gonna come down here and rip my head off. It's ridiculous. I did not go to law school for this. Okay, now what the hell are we gonna do?
Shut up, sit down, relax. I'll tell you what we're gonna do.
These first few missions are pretty damn easy and basically just teach you the mechanics of the game. How to navigate the driving systems, how to beat people up and steal shit, how to use a melee weapon. Simple but fun stuff like that. But I go back to it in increments because it makes me so stressed. Some of those missions are just so... Oh god, I'm stuck inside the... stuck inside the hood. Hell, that's how I'd actually describe a lot of the gameplay, and I guess now is as good a time as any to talk about that. Despite this game's age, I actually really love the gameplay. The driving feels great for the most part anyway. The vehicles feel pretty responsive and easy enough to use, but damn it is so easy to crash the fuck out in this game. You even barely sideswipe a car and you'll just spin the fuck out completely. When you're going really fast too, you have a lot less range of articulation. What I mean is that you're kind of jolting back and forth from left and right rather than just going straight, which kind of gets a little annoying, but it's nothing too distracting. And the driving in these older GTA titles has a lot more stakes than what we're used to, for a few different reasons, like how flipping your car over is basically an instant death sentence. You can't just use your fucking mind powers to fix it like in GTA 5. Once this happens, you immediately need to get the hell out before...
How I not die?
Your car's smoking, but it should be fine, right? Nah. Oh, fuck, are you kidding me right as I get here? And don't even get me started on the motorcycles, man. These babies can be fun as hell to drive and are super fast. But you hit anything and you'll go flying through the goddamn air like that scene in Men in Black 2. Not to mention that the other drivers seem to be dead set on ruining your day, whether that's by going 5 miles per hour or taking the sharpest fucking turn ever. Breaking the laws of physics just to hit you, it's ridiculous. Honestly, one of the easiest and most responsive vehicles is the... moped. Yeah.
Do a barrel roll!
But they give you such a wide range of vehicles to use that any of the faults driving might have doesn't really matter in the long run. The hand-to-hand combat's kinda sluggish and it's hard to control but gets the job done when it has to. And luckily there's a variety of melee weapons you can use, ranging from the brass knuckles to the fucking katanas. The gunplay is definitely interesting, there's aspects I really like and some I don't. For one, I do like the weapon variety. You have pistols and SMGs that require you to stand still in order to fire, or you could get smaller, less powerful ones that allow you to run around and gun, which is pretty damn cool. The auto aim system is kinda finicky. It doesn't really register at the right moment and it stays locked onto enemies well after you've actually killed them, but it definitely gets the job done. And I don't know why, but I kinda like the way these guns feel. The shotgun is appropriately powerful, the machine guns just feel good as shit to use. And I don't know if I can explain this well, but I just kinda like the sound design of the guns. Paired with the neat texture that the bullets create, it's oddly satisfying for some reason. You of course have armor, which is essential for some of these missions. The explosives like grenades are kinda hard to control or fully determine where they're even gonna fucking go, but it's extremely satisfying if you can get it to work right. And you can also do rooftop parkour with these goddamn grenades, which is super weird, but I dig it. But one thing I really don't like is the manual aiming that you have to do with the assault rifle or any sniper in the game. It puts you in this first person POV, inverts the controls, and swings the fucking sensitivity all the way up. It is a bitch to do on the PS2, especially with the old control scheme. It even kinda sucks when you're playing it on Xbox and the controls are a little more modernized. I'm sure it works fine on PC. I wouldn't know, I never played the game on there because Steam took it down in favor of the shitty fucking remaster. But I've always hated having to do this. this. There's only a handful of missions that require you to do this though, so if given the choice, I would avoid it completely. It feels fine with the RPG though for obvious reasons. That doesn't really add anything to my point, I just want an excuse to mention that this game has an RPG in it. And it also has a fucking chainsaw, why didn't this come back in GTA 5? It's especially confusing when you consider the sheer amount of melee weapons they already had in that game. Why not add this one too? This game can also be kinda difficult sometimes. It is extremely unforgiving and you're pretty fleshy, so you can die as fast as hell. Hence why it's always a good idea to have some armor, because you'll never be prepared for just how crazy this game can get. If you do die, and you probably will a few times, you'll fail the mission and wake up in a hospital with no weapons whatsoever. You'll then have to go buy all those weapons back before driving all the way back to where the mission started, because there's no restart button and there's absolutely no checkpoints. If you fail a mission without dying, you'll just be left wherever you failed the mission, which is fine sometimes, but it can get pretty fucking annoying in others. You can get stuck on these missions sometimes too, but that just makes completing them all the more satisfying. I'm on edge like most of the fucking time I'm playing this game, because I know anything can go wrong at any moment, and the consequences will always be dire. And things are honestly more fun when they do go wrong and you're forced to rely on your quick thinking to survive. Just barely scraping past a level when I was sure I was gonna die, or had been dying over and over, is so satisfying. I feel like a proper criminal badass. One of the things that makes it so stressful, and frankly one of the most important aspects of a GTA game, are the police. These motherfuckers are crazy. They're fast and powerful and will slam you off the road in an instant. This is when the game still had a 6-star system instead of just 5, and god damn they fit a lot of crazy shit into those 6 slots. One is pretty simple, you have a couple cops looking for you and any of the patrolling ones will go out of their way to arrest you if they see you. 2 stars basically means every cop in the area is looking for you. 3 means the SWAT teams are coming, as well as the Vice officers driving little cheetahs around, which is a reference to Miami Vice and a feature that's also unique to this game. At 4 stars you'll see choppers patrolling the sky, as well as roadblocks and spike rails. At 5, the SWAT members will be joined by the fucking FBI, and everyone knows what happens at 6 stars. Despite its difficulty, I love the sense of freedom it gives you. They often give you specific instructions, but it doesn't usually matter if you follow them to a T or not. Like, the game might say you have to enter this enemy-infested building and take a photo from this balcony, but you could just say, fuck all that, land your helicopter on the roof and take the photo from there. I love how this game rewards you for being creative rather than slapping you with a big old mission fail screen for not following the script correctly. Of course, there are small things that drag the gameplay down a little, like the fact that you can't really move the camera at all unless you're standing still, in which you're able to turn in whatever direction you want using this first person POV. That's kinda neat. Everyone also knows that Tommy can't swim and it's pretty fucking annoying. Claude couldn't swim either, but it was way less of an issue as you weren't constantly around water like Tommy is. I cannot for the life of me understand why the definitive edition didn't add swimming. Would that really be asking for too much? All y'all did was add a weapon wheel and make the aiming slightly better. And also you somehow made the game uglier. Like, I know Vice City's visuals haven't aged gracefully or anything, and I'm probably just biased, but I still kind of like the look of this game a lot. I love those early 2000 graphics and the vibrant colors. I love the cool blur that happens when you run. The definitive edition just looks bad. Like one of those mods from back in the day that just made the game really shiny, but it's supposed to make it look better. But that's completely off topic. We're talking about the base game's gameplay. I kind of miss the feeling that these early GTA games give me whenever I do a mission. I miss the sense of urgency and tension that comes with doing any of this. Don't get me wrong, I love GTA 5's campaign and find it to be super underrated, but also just have a soft spot for the simple yet effective game designs shown here.
I did kidnap his wife! Oh no!
I also miss how challenging some of these missions were. Like a lot of people, I like the feeling of earning my win in a game rather than just being handed to me. It's super satisfying to overcome a mission or boss you've been stuck on for hours, and this game provides that feeling to me in bulk, baby. Bulky babies. So if you like games with a little challenge, or you just like old games in general, you should probably check this out if you haven't already. But chances are, if you've already watched this far into the video, you've already played it. But now that that's out of the way, we can finally delve into the story for real this time. Tommy and Ken have been brainstorming ways to get the money they lost back. Tommy's plan is pretty simple. So Ken informs us of a man named Colonel Juan Garcia Cortez, who apparently helped him set up the deal.
He's holding his party out in the bay on his expensive yacht, and all of Vice City's big players are gonna be there, okay? I have an invite. Of course I have an invite. But there's no way that I'm going out there, sticking my head out the door. No way, not gonna happen.
I told you, shut up.
I'll go myself.
Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey, I like 1978 too, but you know, this isn't gonna be a beer and strippers do. I mean, no offense, but I think that you might turn heads on the runway for the wrong reasons.
What's wrong with the way I'm dressed?
Okay, look, here. Stop by Raphael's. Tell him I sent you. He'll make you look respectable.
Before we can meet up with him, we have to change into some more respectable threads. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, this isn't nearly as cool as the default costume, I'm gonna be honest. The game will provide you with a handful of outfits that you can change into as you continue to beat and unlock more stuff. They'll be placed in various points all around the map, and you can wear them for as long as you want unless you die. Then of course, like I said earlier, Tommy will be put back into his OG outfit. Tommy easily has the best default outfit of any GTA character. It's iconic. Everyone knows that Hawaiian shirt, it's so sick. Tommy looks so cool that I actually recently modeled my GTA Online character to look like him. But after getting the new suit, we travel up to Juan's yacht so we can talk to him in his long ass name. On this yacht, you'll see a packed crowd of unique characters engaging in interesting conversations.
I blocked down on him, and then I put him in a wheelchair.
That is good. Well, now I'm looking at some prime.
These are all characters you'll meet in depth as you spend more time in Vice City, and this is a really neat way to establish who a lot of them are. It's kind of like that scene from Bully where Gary shows you all the cliques in the cafeterias. Feeding time at the zoo. We talk to Juan and he informs us that despite the severity of the situation, he's trying to get it all figured out. He asks us to watch over his daughter, Mercedes, so he can get back to work, and we agree, causing us to have to drive her to the Pole Position Club, a strip club in the middle of Vice City. Wait, you left the bitch behind! Go back! You wanna fail the mission? That yellow dot, you just straight up dissed her. Take my daughter home. No.
I'm good.
The toys are like women. Be sure to run my daughter over at least once before you take her home.
It will build her character.
We return to Ken and Tommy tells him that we need to talk to someone on the street level, someone who knows about all the drugs in this town. And he informs us about a man named Kent Paul, a slimy and annoying dude who has way more connections than he should. So we go to the Malibu Club in order to meet him, and is it just me or does this guy kind of look a lot like Seth Green? We interrogate him and he informs us of a chef who deals out of his kitchen. He implies that he might know something about our money, so we head over there to confront him.
Hey, what you looking at? You better start talking. Hey, make me, you prick.
He immediately wants to fight you, and after a quick tutorial, you knock him out and steal his phone.
Oh, way to go, tough guy. Beat him to a pulp. That should make him real chatty.
Yo, where the fuck did you come from?
Hey, chill. I want what you want, brother.
Oh, yeah? And what's that?
Your green and my dead brother's white lady.
This is Lance Vance, your partner in crime, throughout the rest of the game. He's a snarky, sarcastic, and kinda mysterious dude who clearly seems to be making his mark on the city. Despite how suspicious it is that he was apparently just watching us for no reason, Tommy still decides to go with him when a shit ton of other chefs show up to waste us. I don't know why it did that to you though, because that was like insane. Comparatively, they all got machetes, just run.
I can't. I can't run.
Go. Oh no! You can just run away from these meat cleaver wielding motherfuckers, or you can kill them, it doesn't really matter. We do get to drive Lance's dope ass car though, as he explains to us how we can buy a gun, because I guess Tommy, a criminal, has never done that before. So you finish the mission with a new phone, gun, and a buddy. That's pretty neat. The next mission is super fun as we have to teach some jurors a lesson by smashing up their cars with hammers, and beating on one of them yourself. Oh, he's running away! You! Oh shit, oh okay. And after completing this, we meet Avery Carrington, a real estate developer who is played by Burt Reynolds himself.
Son, you help me, and any greaseballs giving you a hard time, I'll see to it they take a long dirt nap.
Okay. What could I do for you?
This delivery company's got its depot on some prime land. They won't sell. They're hanging on like a big old prairie rat. So we gotta go in there and smoke that vermin out.
You'll do a couple missions for him in the early game, and there's one that some players really don't like even though it's not that hard. He wants to help with your money situation and ask for a favor in return because everybody in this city wants something. What's that thing that Moist Critical said?
The people in Miami wouldn't piss in your mouth if you were dying of thirst unless you had $1,000 to pay him for it.
He just wants us to cause a fucking riot. No biggie. You get changed into another outfit and go to cause some chaos. You have to start a fight amongst these rallying workers, which will cause a riot, which will then allow you to slip inside and blow some fucking shit up. Do this! Shoot it! Okay, that hurt me a lot, but it worked. Now the risky part. I gotta try to steal this other car while these guys are trying to fucking attack me. Get out of here! Get out of here! No! Yes! Oh, I parked in front of the exit like an idiot. So goddamn fun. And after completing this, you'll be able to do more missions for Avery. He only has a handful of missions, one of which was cut from the game pretty early in development, where he would have sent us down to this place called Gator Keys, which I think you can assume what part of Florida that was in reference to. Frostproof, of course. There's a couple mysterious locations we'll never see surrounding Avery, such as Shady Acres, and from the description alone you can tell it's full of nothing but old lead paint eating snowbirds, but you're also able to check back in with Juan for an update.
Mr. Versetti! Colonel! Thank you for coming. Please sit. Lobster?
No, thanks.
I am ashamed to admit that one of the causes of our mutual problem appears to have been the loose tongue of a man I used to trust. I've been carrying Gonzalez for years, but now his incompetence reaches new heights. It's only right that you kill Gonzalez.
Did he do it? It's the money that's important to me.
For this kindness, I'll reward you. And then, we will find your money together. He will be at his penthouse, half drunk probably.
So yeah, basically what he's saying is, yeah, I don't know shit yet. Hell, I didn't even fucking look into it. You wanna do another job for me? Luckily, this one's a blast. You have to track this dude down and brutally murder him with a fucking chainsaw, which is one of the game's many direct references to Scarface. You can even find one in a motel bathroom that's covered in blood, similar to the one in the film. The chainsaw is so fucking fun to use, it's quick and brutal, and Tommy also looks ridiculous while walking with it, which is definitely a plus, I'm not gonna lie. Diaz, you're supposed to be running from me. After taking a little off the top, we can return to Juan, who's very proud of us.
Tommy, you are like a pompous breeze that has freed me from the stench of corruption. Although I must appear to mourn his passing and carry on with business as usual.
This isn't getting me any closer to my money.
Yeah, you tell him, Tommy. As fun as these missions have been, it kind of feels like we're just walking in circles here. He asked us to go over to one of the smaller two malls and make a deal, which of course goes south as you're ambushed by a bunch of random dudes as the dealer tries to flee away. You don't have to fight these guys, thankfully, you just have to catch this asshole and gun him down and steal this shit before it's too late. This is the first of many chases you'll be doing in this game, and they're a lot of fun. This was before the days of chasing someone all the way to a predetermined destination, so you just kind of had to go until you got them. Like, they would just ride in circles endlessly if you didn't do anything. You know, remember back in the old days where if you would touch the Xbox even slightly and like move it while it was on, it was just like, hey, fuck your video game. It's broken now. That's what happened. And that's another Spider-Man game that's super expensive. Oh, I almost forgot to pick up his drugs. Returning to Juan, he informs us that he essentially offered us up to do a favor for a man named Diaz who was at the party earlier. It's not clear exactly how just yet, but it's very apparent that this dude is extremely powerful, and if anyone can help us track down our money, it's him. You go to meet Lance in a parking garage where he gives you an assault rifle, then the two of you go to meet with Diaz. Your task is pretty simple, you just have to cover Diaz and his men as they try to defend themselves from an enemy gang. Eventually one of them tries to flee the scene with the supplies, so you gotta chase his ass down and kill him. Come back here. Tommy, shoot at him, not around him. Fuck. Dude, these alleyways are so goddamn... Stay straight! Just for a little bit, please! Oh, come on! How are you gonna make a turn like that? Oh, he spun out. Yeah. Dude, die! Oh, thank God that cop doesn't care. He's like, none of my fucking business. Hey, as long as it's not happening to me. Yes! Boofed his ass, shot him while he was trying to drive away. Diaz is extremely impressed with our efforts and wants to work together even more in the future. But before we can do that, we gotta visit our boy Avery again. He only has a handful of missions, one of which is beloved by the community, and the other which is considered a fucking joke. In this first one, you'll have to head over to the golf course to beat some random asshole to death with your golf club, or you could park a car against the gate outside and just jump over, so you can take your weapons inside instead. But either way, this mission's a lot of fun, and I really appreciate the chaotic video gamey feel that this one has. Hey, you're not leaving. You're not. Where do you think you're going, bro? God, I fucking love this game. Why didn't they bring the chainsaw back for GTA 5, man? He's honking at me. You get back here. Now it's time to talk about the one that everyone fucking hates. You have to fly this little goofy RC helicopter and drop bombs on various points inside of a construction yard. I've never found this mission to be very difficult like at all, just kind of tedious as it takes a while, but if you know what you're doing, it can be done pretty easily. I forgot I need to go grab the bomb from downstairs. Thought I still had that shit for some reason. You can only carry one, you dumbass. Now these construction guys are gonna whap you. Yeah, I know, this mission, right? Yeah. This is one of those missions where whenever I play it, I think back to like, nobody, when they were like playtesting this game, was like, hey guys, this mission sucks. And you can even watch a fun little early 2000s explosion as a reward. God, man, I don't know what it is, but I just love the old effects in this game. And the sound design. I loved how that explosion sounded. Now we're finally able to head over to Starfish Island to do missions for Diaz himself. But we've already been talking about the story for a while now, so let's play some goddamn side content. One of the most popular choices are the phone booths. Whenever you hear a phone just randomly ringing, go up and walk up to that thing and answer it, and you'll talk to Mr. Black. We don't learn like anything about this dude other than the fact that he's in the hitman and money laundering business. All that really matters though is these jobs pay well, and they do, and they're also a lot of fun. The first one is to kill a pizza delivery guy before he can finish his entire route. Easy enough, just fucking ram into his scooter and kill his ass. The second one's a little bit more specific. You have to kill this poor random wife because I guess she spends too much of her husband's money. And the way you have to go about it is strange. You just have to repeatedly ram into her vehicle until it starts to catch on fire and blows up by itself, because you need to make it look like an accident, despite the fact that you were chasing her around the city, ramming into her multiple times. And I'm sure a lot of people can account for that too, because there's pedestrians fucking everywhere. The jobs start to get gradually more complicated as the pay increases. The third one, you'll have 3 different targets, but don't worry, you're actually provided a few different weapons at spawn. And this is like one of the only times I can remember that this actually happens in the game, and it's not even in the main mission story. But if you don't want to do all that, the game has street races that you can engage with, because obviously it does. You can become a pizza delivery guy to replace the one that you just fucking murdered a few minutes ago. You can get into the taxi business, which talk more about that later. Talk a lot more about that later. And who can forget the ambulance and police jobs, which are some of my favorite things to do in this game when I'm really bored, especially the police one. It's called Vigilante, and it happens as soon as you get in a police car and press one of the joysticks, in which you'll just get assigned a random crime, like, hey, here's this guy over here, he's a criminal, he needs to not be alive anymore. And then you just go ram him off the street and murder the fuck out of him every time. It's so fun. The ambulance ones though are so goddamn stressful. You have to go and find someone who's on the verge of fucking death and then bring them to the nearest hospital, which takes forever. There's only like 2 hospitals in the whole map, I think. Sometimes you have to do multiple people. And did I mention that this is all fucking timed? And it's always like less than 2 minutes as well? What is this shit? But hey, if you beat this one, Tommy's stamina becomes unlimited. I'm not making this up. He's already fast as fuck, but if you beat these missions, he will be unstoppable. He will be the Flash. And of course, how could you forget about the stunt jumps that are just littered throughout the map, like in every GTA game? I think the one right outside the Malibu Club has been responsible for more deaths in this game than the actual enemies have. You can also do checkpoint races on bikes, boats, and other vehicles, and even little drone vehicles. And that goddamn cone delivery one, oh my god, I'll talk about that again later too. Fucking bullshit. One of my personal favorite things whenever I encountered it though is the rampages. You'll know what these are as soon as you see this glowing little skull right here. Just walk into that and you'll be assigned a random weapon and then tasked with killing as many as a specific gang member as possible. These weapons can be anything from a huge machine gun all the way down to a Molotov cocktail, or even like a baseball bat or something, so you really got to get creative with it sometimes. These are just great if you're really bored of the game and all you want to do is just do some fucking killing, because hey, At least killing these dudes will actually give you some benefits on like murdering random civilians, which gives you nothing but like $2.
Do I beat people up for some health?
Probably. It's worth a try.
Okay.
Beat up this homeless person. Beat up this homeless woman. Does this give you health? No, it doesn't. You're just killing a homeless woman. Okay. Okay.
This is us to Justin's salary.
And you can also rob stores for the first time in the franchise. Okay. Jesus fuck. And while you're making this much money, you should maybe, you know, consider that real estate, boy. Because if you've never played this game before and you plan on playing it, then you should probably know that it's required of you to buy and complete 6 different assets in order to unlock the final mission. I didn't know this on my first playthrough and had to spend the latter half of the game just doing nothing but these missions. Highly recommend trying to gradually sprinkle them throughout your playthrough so you don't get tired of them too quickly, because goddamn, this shit can kind of start to feel like a chore after a while. One of the first assets you're able to reach on the first island is the pole position strip club, which is also conveniently the easiest one to do. All it entails is buying the property before receiving a 5-minute long lap dance? I don't know what the fuck this is, dude. CinemaSins would be proud.
You see, I'm buying this hotel and setting some new rules about the dancing.
Once you complete the asset, you'll be immediately informed by the game that you'll be able to earn a daily source of revenue from this place from here on out. Each business does this, and they all provide a different amount. And there is another property for sale on the main island, but oh fuck, I guess we'll save that for later, Jesus. Let's focus on the main story for now to try to get some revenue up before purchasing something like that. Let's head over to Diaz and see what he has to offer. We find him chilling in his giant Scarface-ass mansion. He's currently throwing a tantrum over a horse bet he lost and immediately tells you that
You do a good job. You work for me now.
I work for money.
As I said, amigo, you work for me now.
I work
Shut up.
he barks some commands at us, saying that we have to get his money back from some thief chilling in his apartment, but when we go there, he immediately spots us, which causes him to flee away fast as fuck. You chase him across the rooftops, which is a lot of fun, but if you kill him, you'll immediately fail the mission. He eventually escapes in a car, causing you to have to chase his ass down on a goddamn moped. You still can't kill him and have to actually follow him and his comrades all the way across the city into the specific mansion, where their hideout is apparently at. After confirming who Diaz's ops are and exactly where they're at, he sends you and Lance in a fucking helicopter to go take their asses out. You unfortunately don't get to fly though, you just have to manually aim this stupid turret. This one's actually pretty easy though. That's a fun fact, if you look behind you when you go under the bridge, you'll see a worker jumping to his death. You might have seen this in a YouTube short before or heard about it back in the early 2000s when there was an endless amount of myths and rumors about this game, but apparently this wasn't even intentional and it's actually just a spawn glitch, but I always kind of assumed it was just really subtle world building, or not so subtle world building, I guess. After clearing out all the enemies, Lance drops you in to infiltrate the old mansion by yourself. This part's when it gets really intense. The mansion is packed full of enemies, all shooting from different vantage points. It can be really difficult to get through with the manual aim, so I recommend bringing the SMG as backup, so when you get to this part, you can just lock on to any of the enemies in this room and not have to manually look around to see where the fuck they're hiding. You head to the roof, steal the money back, and escape with Lance in the helicopter. Now that's some real fucking cocaine cowboy shit. Diaz is very pleased and will get back to us in the future with more work, but in the meantime, let's go do some jobs for our guy Juan. This time he asks us to steal him some military hardware. Alright, should be easy, and oh my fucking god, this mission's actually pretty dope. You gotta just cause some chaos and eventually steal the tank before they can, you know. Getting to drive the tank without the risk of cheat codes breaking my save is such a satisfying feeling. It's a shame that this mechanic wasn't better utilized in the early game. There really just wasn't very many missions where you got to use them, but hey, at least you can go find one out in the map if you go look for it. Hell, come to think of it though, I can't really think of any tank-based missions in like the new GTA games either. Rockstar, please let me drive some more fucking tanks, please. Next we can go check on our boy Avery Carrington, who we haven't seen in a fat second. He's currently teaching his apprentice Donald, who appears in GTA 3 and is a pretty obvious and spot-on Trump parody. This time Avery wants you to take out a specific person. A person who just happens to be a Haitian gang leader at a funeral for another Haitian gang member. Oh, and by the way, he's just like one of 30 of them. I was always too nervous to take this whole group head on, so I would just kind of pull a car against the back of this fence here and shoot over the wall at them. But if you do take them head on, your target will of course attempt to flee, causing you to chase his ass down and finish it for good. Finally, Diaz will call us back about some more work, so we return to him and find him shooting birds with a goddamn shotgun.
Pleased with yourselves now, huh?
Whoa, watch where you're waving at things.
No more pigeon shit on my car, eh, Tommy?
Tells you about a boat down by the docks that's supposed to be hella fast, and of course he wants it. So you have to fight your way through this crowded ass dock, flick a switch, and then leave on the boat. All you gotta do is drive it all the way back to Diaz's mansion, and no one's even chasing you, so it's just kind of an easy, nice cruise through this game's pretty nice little rivers. This shit's like 22 years old, by the way, and it still looks pretty nice. Diaz seems too pissed about some VHS player to care about his new prize boat, however.
Oh, you piece of plastic shit! Oh! Oh! Bro, you! It is my favorite El Burro movie. It died. What else can I do?
It's probably not plugged in.
What?
He tells you to take the speedboat and go on this first come first serve trade going on out in the water. So you have to quickly race a few other speedboats to this yacht. Oh, that was kind of sudden. I wondered if there was meant to be a cutscene that played there or something.
That's the last of them. I'm gonna start her up. I think we got some new friends.
Regardless, you gotta kill the assholes chasing you before they can get the supplies, before escaping back to Diaz's mansion. But after Lance drives off in the boat, we lose contact with him. Out of curiosity, Tommy goes to interrogate Kent Paul for a second fucking time and finds out that Diaz had his men kidnap him and they're currently holding him hostage in some warehouse.
High enough, if you know what I mean.
Where did he take them?
In plain English.
Keep your party on. They got him across town to the junkyard. Bloody hell, you nutter!
We also find out that Diaz was personally responsible for the deal going wrong at the very beginning of the game. He made sure your operation wouldn't succeed and then took advantage of your desperation to fix the problem to help benefit his business. Which is just like insult to injury, man. Confused, betrayed, and especially pissed off, Tommy hurries across the city to go save Lance before he's essentially tortured to death. You have to fight your way through a scrapyard filled with enemies, taking cover behind the mounds of garbage and old vehicles before you finally find Lance tied up in a hangar. You free him and have to fight your way all the way back to the exact route you just came from before driving Lance to the hospital. And oh yeah, he's bleeding out the entire time. Saying this mission was difficult for me during this playthrough would be a fucking understatement. You drop Lance off at the hospital and he just kind of strolls in with an SMG in hand and blood all over his chest, no problem. But this mission does indeed show us that we were not right to trust Diaz. He has no interest in helping us get the money back and simply wanted to use us. And now he's casted us aside just like that. Before we can confront him though, we have to take one final visit to Juan, as he claims it to be an emergency. We arrive at his yacht again at the exact same docks and he informs us that a lot of angry Frenchmen are coming for his ass, and he needs you to protect the yacht from them as he tries to flee the city.
Wouldn't it be safer to fly?
I'd be dead before I reach check-in. Besides, I need to get my merchandise out of the country.
Need another gun?
You, my friend, are worth 10 guns.
This mission can get pretty intense. You're in a constant state of running back and forth across the deck, shooting everyone that fucking moves, grounding some helicopters, and even blowing up some boats. It does seem like a really cool mission in theory, but this cramped quarters and the fact that your gun just won't be able to shoot over some ledges gets pretty annoying. Like, I know I said that things are most fun when they get chaotic in this game, but it gets to a point where it's so chaotic that it's just stupid.
Hello? There's that guy right there.
Oh!
Oh, yeah, burn his ass, bro.
Yeah!
Is it going, I think it's going through him.
Yeah! Oh! I'm almost dead. I'm almost dead.
And you're dead. Mission failed. Guess what?
Obviously, you have to stand 3 feet away from him when you have the flamethrower, because flames take a good bit of distance to get hot. Idiot.
Eventually, we make it out of the city, and Juan says his final goodbyes as he gives us a boat to ride back to shore. It kinda sucks to see Juan go, because not only were his missions really fun, but he was also one of the few genuine people we've met so far. Sure, he was a rich deuce who was still treating us like an errand boy, but at least he had some sense of respect for Tommy, and was actually willing to help us out in the beginning.
Keep an eye on Mercedes for me.
I think she could look after herself, but sure, I'll keep an eye out.
Gracias, amigo. Hasta luego.
Adios, amigo.
Lance is out of the hospital already, so Tommy and him immediately head to Diaz's mansion to get revenge.
I got us some cannons in the trunk. Holy shit, where'd you get all this stuff? Been saving for a rainy day. You like?
Yeah, I like.
And what follows is one of my favorite missions in the whole game. We get to invade Diaz's mansion on some Scarface shit, wiping out every enemy along the way and eventually confronting Diaz himself.
Diaz! I've come to take over your business! Tommy, you betrayed me, you idiot! I'm gonna kill you real soon!
You unload fire on his 5'4.5" ass, and the insane amount of coke he's on isn't enough to protect him anymore.
You stupid pricks! My beautiful house! Look what you've done to it!
This is for my brother!
Killing Diaz is one of the most satisfying moments in the franchise. It might not be on the same level as killing Dimitri in GTA 4, or Steve Haynes, a loser ass in GTA 5, but this dude is the definition of pure evil, okay? He's a nasty liar, a hypocrite, and he uses and abuses the shit out of his power every single day. It's a wonder he ever made it this far to begin with, considering how lazy and incompetent he seems. Fuck that, he just is those things. Tommy represents how the times are now changing. Tommy's hands-on, do-it-yourself approach will ensure that he rises to the top, while someone like Diaz can't do anything for himself. He can't even plug in a VHS player. Tommy's the new face of organized crime, not someone like Sonny, and definitely not Diaz. Out with the old and in with the new ain't ever felt better.
Brother! I trusted you, Tommy. I would have had you made.
Say goodnight, Mr. Diaz.
Now that Diaz is out of the picture, it's about time that we step up in our bootstraps. I don't even know what the fuck that means. We also unlock access to another island, the Vice City mainland. This is exactly what it sounds like, basically the big hub of this city. It has everything in it from boat docks to rundown old neighborhoods to huge skyscrapers, and even a giant fucking arena where you can do these insane death challenges where you just like slam cars into other people. It's pretty sick. And don't forget about the shamefully underutilized airport, which you can go to and fuck around in, but you basically can't fly anything there, which is a little disappointing. I love how unique both main islands feel in this game, and they're both so unique and intricate that you could set a game in either of these and it would work just fine. Once you unlock the second island, you'll be able to access a shit ton of new story missions, and even some good side ones, which I'm excited to talk about. We can go check in with our annoying pal from earlier, Kent Paul. Totally off topic, but when I first heard of Pal World, I kept reading the name of that game as Paul World for some reason. Like, I knew it was called Pal World, but every time I saw that title, I read it as Paul. Is that brain rot? Anyway, Kent Paul is currently producing some music with a band called Love Fist, who are a pretty apparent parody of the popular hair metal bands of the 80s. It's immediately clear, though, that they don't like Kent Paul and are just kind of using him.
Before?
No, I haven't, but I've always loved your music.
Let me introduce you to the band. This is Percy, Dick, Willie's in the Kazi, and that was Jez in the booth earlier. And guys, I wanted to meet a good friend of mine. This is Tommy. We go way back.
Hey, pal. And, what was your name again?
Leave it out, Jez, you remember. Don't be playing them games with me, mate. I'm too crafty for that, sunshine.
English prick.
They also want you to get some drugs and some women to spice up their place for them. You go buy drugs from this random ass dude on a motorcycle, but he just steals your money and runs off. So, time to kill his ass. After that's done, you'll have to go pick up a woman and drive her all the way back to the van, and this pretty fucking tight time limit. After completing this, you'll be able to do more jobs for Love Fist, such as the one where you protect them during one of their meet and greets to make sure that crazy stalker doesn't show up. But of course, they inevitably do when they try to kill Love Fist over some past vendetta. So you have to chase him down and kill the motherfucker. Like I've said earlier, this character was actually originally going to be more important and you weren't going to actually kill them in this mission. They would have returned at the end of Love Fist's arc, but they just decided against that, I guess, and I don't really know why. Maybe they just didn't want to get sued by fucking Driv 3 or whatever. But after an attack like that, Love Fist is going to need some new security. So they send you out to find a good fit for the job, because I guess Tommy can't just do that for him for now. You end up settling on the biker gang and they want you to prove yourself to them in order to help you. So you have to do a pretty fun motorcycle race against them that utilizes this part of the map really well with all the sharp turns and winding paths. After winning, they now want you to prove that you're someone not to mess with. This mission's hella fun because all you have to do is go cause as much chaos as humanly possible without dying. And I'll always enjoy a good rampage, man. The only difficult part is I usually don't plan on surviving those rampages. Upon returning, you find out that some asshole stole the leader's bike. His name is Mitch Baker, and he is pissed. So you have to go track the thief down and get that shit back for him. I really like these missions. They're short and simple, could be beaten in less than a few minutes, but they're still so fun and rely on simple mechanics that make the game work so well. Race, motherfucker! Blow that shit up! Shoot, motherfuckers! This was well before these things were just a tiring grind on something like GTA Online. Now that that's over, we can officially hire the bikers to work for Love Fist, and we can also do their final mission. They want you to drive the limo to the stadium so they can perform for their show, but literally as soon as we get in, this shit happens.
Hey Tommy, stick the stapon!
Love Fist, your time polluting the airwaves is over. I gave you the chance to be friends. Well, now I'm giving you the chance to die. You try and slow down, your limousine will explode, along with your big airy asses.
So you have to drive the limo as fast as possible on some speed type shit before the motherfucker explodes. And after finishing this mission, you'll get a call from Mitch saying that he and the rest of the bikers respect you and will have your back from now on. You also get to keep the limo, which is kinda neat, I guess. I really do like this side plot as it doesn't overstay its welcome at all. It's funny and entertaining and it's just plain fun. I really like the simplicity of these missions. It reminds me of a much simpler time playing Rockstar games as a kid like Bully. But that's not gonna keep the revenue coming, unfortunately, so you might as well buy the rest of the fucking assets at this point.
Let's change your mind.
No.
The two cheapest assets to buy are the boatyard and the cherry popper ice cream truck. The boatyard mission, Checkpoint Charlie, was one of my personal least favorite missions in the entire game as a kid, and I still don't like it today. It seems simple enough, you just gotta drive a boat through several checkpoints before the timer runs out. Easy enough. Oh my god, what are these controls? God. Yeah, the boat controls in this game are pretty infamously shit. It handles atrociously, it's either way too little or way too much of each turn, and you gotta do a lot of motherfucking turning. There's this annoying part where you have to do 3 jumps in a row, and it's so easy to just get stuck on one of the docks or completely overshoot the checkpoint entirely. It sucks, dude. But once you complete it, you're done with the boatyard missions forever. It's just the one, so I'd say it's definitely worth it if you have the patience to deal with this shit. Jesus. The ice cream truck is pretty easy, but also pretty tedious. You have to successfully deliver 50 ice creams before you can leave the truck. Sounds easy enough if you leave out the part about cops and rival gangs being aggroed on site. I've always found this mission to be pretty easy if you're just patient with the process and keep a close eye on your surroundings, but at the same time, I understand why so many players hate it. But after delivering all 50, you literally just have to get out of the car and then you complete the asset forever. But to get some more, you're gonna need some more cash. You could always stand around and wait for the money, I guess, or you could do a story mission, but I'm getting a little sick and tired of Lance's bitch ass right now. How about we do another side mission? Second Island has plenty to offer. One of my favorites being the ones you do for Danny Trejo and his Cuban buddies here. This guy's a fucking blast. His name is Umberto and he's easily one of the most memorable side characters in the game.
You the boy? Oh yeah. You the boy. I think so, you know.
No, I don't think I do.
Oh yeah? You come here, tough guy. You think you'll take me on? You think you'll play stupid with me?
No, I think you're playing plenty stupid enough for both of us.
Hey, he call you dumb, son. And I call him a little girl, Papi. Look at him, all dressed up like that. What is this, ladies' night? You some kind of tough guy? You dress like a woman? You got on panties like a woman too, huh?
What do you got against women? You prefer men, big boy?
I like women. I like all women. I love my mother, Chico.
All right, I'll take your word for it. Relax.
Can you drive, amigo?
Yeah, like a woman.
Very funny. I like you, big boy. Maybe you can help. Maybe you can prove you're a man, huh? Take out the boat. Show me you got some big cojones.
You wanna see how big my cojones are? This should be interesting. I wonder what. Oh god. Oh fuck. No. Fuck. I'm just kidding, guys. This mission's actually easy as hell. Going back to Danny, he gives you a new job.
Papi,
hay problema, Tom.
Papi, un gran problema.
Humberto, my son, what
The
happened?
Haitians. I hate these Haitians. They messed with me for the last time. These Haitians. We'll take them out.
Oh, you want me to like assist in a major gang invasion? What? What the fuck about my boat driving skills told you that I was ready for this? But whatever, this mission is pretty fucking fun and honestly kinda intense. I died a few times on my last playthrough. You get a car and take the Cubans over to the Haitian part of town, invade their base of operations and steal their shit. But this is easier said than done, however, as there's a fuck ton of these dudes, and they have the entrance to their hideout blocked with a car that's really hard to blow up for some reason, but every time you get in it and try to drive it, it will immediately explode without fail.
Not die.
Ooh, he just got Pete Davidson. Ooh, he just got blackguarded. Ooh, triple Pete Davidson. Now you gotta make your way through here with a sniper who straight up has the accuracy of Deadshot, 2 Suicide Squad references in 1 paragraph. I'm on a roll. Once you kill the bitch ass sniper, you have to steal a truck while hundreds of these guys are just endlessly spawning. I'm not joking. You can stand here and kill as many as you fucking want. It won't make a difference. But once you escape in the truck, you're home free, and when you go back to see Umberto for a 3rd time, he's not fucking happy. He tells you that he's fed up with the Haitian gang and their disrespect, so we have to take a boat ride and go raid another part of their operations. You wipe out a shit ton of enemies before stealing their drugs and cash, the 2 currencies of Florida. But before you can head out, your boat's fucking destroyed. You have to steal another one that's just chilling here and have to flee from the scene. But now that you've completed those, you could also do some missions for the Haitians instead, like, the snake you are. The Drake snake. You'll be able to meet with a kind old woman by the name of Auntie Paulette.
You must be the big bad man my granddaddy been chatting about. Tell me things about you, you know, when he visits, and about the others who wait for you. Now, we all dead from long time, but you, I wouldn't want to be in your shoes.
I got a message to come here.
Can you hear them?
I don't know exactly why Tommy sounds like he's fucking drunk right now. Maybe it's the tea that she just gave us, or maybe Ray stumbled into the booth fucking plastered that day. I have no idea. Either way, it's kind of funny. Auntie Paulette tells you to stop the cops from finding her drug stashes all over the city, so we head to intercept them. This mission's pretty simple. You just gotta hurriedly drive around town looking for several different cases full of drugs before the cops find them. And every time you collect a new one, your wanted level will increase a little bit. Returning to Auntie Paulette, she tells you to go take out some delivery boats that will be docking that day. You go there assuming that you're just gonna kill some motherfuckers, and it's another RC mission, damn it. And this one's actually pretty annoying compared to that first one too, as the plane does not fly nearly as smooth as the RC helicopter does. All you gotta do is successfully bomb all the enemies before they escape. If you can't kill them all while they're in the boat, the survivors will flee by car instead, which becomes pretty fucking annoying. It's way harder to keep up with than you think. You're either too far behind or way too far ahead. But once you finish them off, we're able to return Auntie for one last job. She informs you that the Haitians and Cuban conflict is at an all-time high and her men need backup immediately. So you travel to this vantage point in order to snipe them from a distance, and I'm kinda getting a little sick of all these manual aiming sessions. Again, it's only a handful of times that you have to do it in the game, but Jesus fuck dude, I just don't like it, I'm sorry. But now that that's over, we can finally see the Cuban versus Haitian arc come to a close with the final Cuban mission.
Hey lady, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna kill me a Haitian. And then I'm going to make love like a man. You know that, chica? Something like this. Tommy, how do you take out a snake? You bite him in the ass.
Whatever you say, Umberto.
Tommy, you go and get us a little Haitian car. When you get it, come back and pick up my boy, Pepe. And take them out to the Haitians. Then, you go around to the Haitians' processing plant. And you use their solvent as an explosive.
To finish off the little war we've gotten ourselves into, we have to take a trip back to their operation before killing a shit ton of dudes and setting up some bombs. After completing this mission, you'll have the complete respect of the Cubans and the Haitian gang respectively.
What the fuck?
But we spent so much time setting up businesses and helping out rival gangs that we kind of forgot about our own. It's time to meet back up with Lance and the boys to see what we're planning next.
I can't stand this look. Tommy, what do you say? What do you say we put a bar in?
You're my lawyer, Rosenberg, not my interior decorator. Got it? Listen to me. The time to take over this town is now. It's all out there waiting for us.
We need to start seizing territory and let Vice City know we're the new players in town. You know what I'm saying?
What you need is a legitimate front, Tommy. Real estate. It's never done me no harm.
We need to start using some muscle, or we can kiss all that hard work goodbye.
They all continue to bicker for minutes on end until Tommy finally comes up with a conclusion that he just needs to send a fucking message.
Take a dump on the doorstep! Bribery? Screw bribery. I'll show you how to make them scared. I'll be back here in 5 minutes.
This mission is a fucking blast. All you gotta do is shoot out several different windows inside of the mall. You're blasting the cops and yelling cool shit like Tommy Vercetti, remember the name. Next you gotta visit some bars on the beach and shake them down for some protection money. This mission is pretty simple if you're prepared to fight a few well-armed enemies, most of whom are just chilling in this weird closed off alleyway. What the fuck is this? Is this like a loading bay for a truck? Why is it so small? You also get to bring 2 allies with you on this one, but honestly they're kind of fucking idiots, so it doesn't matter if you bring them or not. But once you kill these guys, the rest of them will flee on motorcycles, causing you to have to chase them, of course. Honestly, this is not what I was expecting when I took over. I didn't think that the head honcho would have to do all the ugly work before the lavish shit happens. Whatever, fuck it. Lance calls us right after this mission, rather pissed off and implying that he's tired of us mistreating him or something. Look, I'm sorry man, but I've been pretty fucking busy, you know, running this entire operation while you sit on your ass. We go back to the mansion and Lance is all kinds of freaked the fuck out.
Do you realize what this means? We could all be so—
The timer must have got screwed. That place was wired to go up like a firework factory. Then somebody tipped off the cops, but everything
What's the problem, fellas?
Mike was supposed to torch someplace in the mall, but he screwed the fuses, and now the cops are crawling all over it.
Well, that's not good. So we have to get the cops on us so we can knock them out and steal their clothing. True crime, Miami. And from here on out, you'll be able to change into this outfit whenever you want. So you can wear it and act like a fucking psychopath in public, and to be honest, you'll probably fit in pretty well with the rest of Florida's police force. You guys head over to the mall to fix the explosives, and for some reason, these soldiers just let you slip by, no questions asked, even when you shove them. Setting off the bomb, you'll instantly get 5 stars out of 6, and that guy will go flying into the wall every single time. So you have to try to make your way all the way back to the mansion as literally everybody is pouring down at you at once. It can get pretty difficult. Just ask Supermega. They spent an entire episode on this mission.
They're gonna make my car smoke.
Oh, it's the handling, dude. When they start spinning around.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
It's just
they're using their classic police tactics. What is he doing? How's he driving faster?
I don't stop.
Take a right, take a right, take a right, take a right. Convenient. Oh my god.
Get out.
Fucking car, get out. Lance, get out.
No, get out. Ow!
Oh, Lance, you motherfucker! It's Lance's fault every fucking time we fail the goddamn mission. It's Lance's goddamn fucking fault. It's because Lance can't get the fucking cue to get out of the car that's about to explode.
But once you complete that, you will have officially and finally completed the Vercetti estate asset and will be able to earn money from it every day. Oh shit, I almost forgot about the rest of the assets. The next cheapest asset is Kaufman Cabs. This one's different too, as it requires you to do 3 missions instead of just 1. I know guys, really groundbreaking. This is one of my personal favorites though, as the missions are super simple and really fun. They're so chaotic that they kind of just remind me of the vigilante missions in a way. The first mission requires you to pick up a businessman before some random cab shows up and steals your fare, the fucking asshole. So in natural Florida man fashion, you have to chase his car down, pump it full of lead, and then steal the motherfucker back from him. I don't know why this random businessman would willingly go with you after that, but maybe it wasn't so willing now that I'm thinking about it. The next one's even more fun because all you have to do is drive around and blow up 3 rival taxis, and you're not even timed for this one. You get to have all the time that you want to be a fucking menace. And the final mission, Cabmageddon, is easily my favorite of 3. It has a simple setup where they're like, hey Tommy, can you go pick up this random lady at the airport? And you're like, okay. And then you spend an embarrassing long time trying to figure out how to get into the specific parking lot because I was stupid and missed a turn completely. And once you get in here, you're immediately jumped by a rival gang of cab drivers. I'm not making this up. You gotta survive for less than a minute when like 7 motherfuckers in taxis are chasing you and trying to ram into you all at the same time. And then once you survive, they just all fuck off for some reason, and then you have to face someone who's driving a zebra print taxi. So you gotta kill them, and for some reason they also drop a katana, which is kind of cool, but like, who is this person? Why couldn't the game have been about this zebra print driving taxi dude with a katana? That's fucking sick. The next cheapest asset is Sunshine Garage, which you can store any vehicles in that you want. But if you want to complete it properly, you have to find a certain list of vehicles that's listed outside. It is relatively easy since all you're going to be doing is looking for cars, but it can take a fucking while because you have to find 23 different vehicles. And I don't know about you guys, I'm not a car person, so it just kind of reminds me of that one really fucked thing in LA Noire where you had to find like all the cars if you wanted to get a certain achievement, and it was even harder in that game because so many of these cars look the same, man. What the fuck? The next one is probably my favorite asset of them all: Interglobal Studios, a failing film studio that you have to save. You, Tommy Vercetti, the guy who definitely knows a lot about movies, since he hasn't seen one in 15 years. Tommy immediately loses his shit when he gets to this place and sees how things are going. He gets more nitpicky than my dad does watching any fucking movie ever.
This crap! Aliens! Fishing poles! Who's ever seen a shark that big?
And he also says one of his funniest lines in the game here.
How'd you get in this business, you prick? Huh? For the pussy! That's why!
The missions in this one have a good amount of variety and are really fun. The first one is about finding actresses for some kind of porn. So you have to go talk to this girl only to get jumped by her pimp.
The hell are you doing? You should have stayed at home today. Can you believe this, asshole? I'm gonna yoke you up, son.
You gotta chase the guy and destroy his car before his endless supply of allies can kill you. I'm not joking, this guy stops the car every few minutes and lets out 3 different dudes. What is this clown car bullshit? After killing him, you go pick up another actress before returning to the studio. The second mission's really interesting as it's one of the only ones that requires you to fly a plane. You gotta hit a bunch of checkpoints in order to drop a bunch of flyers all over the city. Luckily though, the planes are a lot easier to control than the fucking stupid ass boats, so this was actually pretty fun. The next one lets you pilot a helicopter, and this time the controls are surprisingly smooth. It's cool to see that Rockstar had the helicopter controls figured out so early on. You can't say the same for the fucking boat. Okay, I'll stop. You have to stalk the girl from earlier as she goes to meet with a guy named Alex in secret. Once she arrives at the meeting place, you'll have to go into the neighboring building and take photos to use as blackmail. They somehow see you though, and you'll immediately get 5 stars. You have to fight your way down a few floors of enemies before escaping from the police, or you could say fuck all that, land on top of the building, take the photos, and fly all the way back no problem. Actually, there was a slight problem for me. My helicopter got shot down right as I was about to land, so I just kind of entered the movie studio in a really fiery explosion and rolled away from it like nothing happened. That's probably my favorite example of the many options this game provides you. After completing that, you'll have one more final fun-ass mission where all you have to do is jump from building to building on a fucking motorcycle. This is such a dope-ass level, dude, and it really makes the world feel alive, letting us see it from a perspective we usually wouldn't. I love how detailed the office interiors are, even though I don't think you're able to come back here at any points in the game. This right here is one of my favorite moments in the entire game.
Musical tone. I think it should.
It's so funny how they just don't fucking care at all. After several stunt jumps, you reach a Batman-ass spotlight and shine it into a skyscraper to send a message or something like that. But after completing that, Interglobal Studios is back on their feet and ready to make some damn money. Moving on to the last few assets, we have the print works, which is needed to complete the game. With this business, you'll be able to create counterfeit greens, and it's also one of the few moments where we learn anything about Tommy's past.
Mr. Vercetti? Hey, you bought the old print works?
Yeah, my old man used to work on these. I used to spend the evenings with him cleaning the rollers. I was gonna follow him in his trade, but I lived a different life.
That's it. That's literally all we learn here. Tommy pays a visit to good old Kemp Hall to interrogate him for a 3rd time now on how to get this operation started, since if anybody would know how to get something like this going, it would be him. He tells you there's a shipment of plates coming in today, so you head over to the docks to fight your way up a crowded ass boat before reaching your target.
Whoa, alright, no defay, no defay. Oh, I talk.
I always love when characters say they'll talk and they just straight up don't.
I think it's one of the missing fire crew. Over.
Riddler,
Talk. Sure, whatever you say.
we're done.
After interrogating him, you'll have to fight your way off the boat past all these soldiers, or you could just say fuck it and leap off the side of it, avoiding everyone entirely. I died a good handful of times during this mission, and the second I realized that if I got a running start, I could actually leap over the fence and off the boat, I think I came in my fucking pants. The second mission hit the The second mission, Hit the Courier, is pretty similar, this time requiring you to go back to the docks to fight a shit ton of ladies with guns before killing the courier and stealing their shit. But this mission has a very easy solution that makes it so you'll have to fight a lot less people. Instead of going to the docks right away, you could head over down to this alleyway and clear out the enemies as soon as the door opens and just wait for the courier to come directly to you. That's the kind of freedom I play these games for, man, and I really hope we get to see more stuff like this in GTA 6. After finishing this asset, you'll get another call from Sonny, who isn't pleased to say the least.
Tommy.
Sonny.
Obviously you are suffering from hearing problems, so I'll try again. Where's the goddamn money? Where's the goddamn stuff? And where's my cut? Are you new action? You are making an idiot out of me, Tommy, and I'm not laughing yet.
Tommy and the player have both been forgetting about him gradually over the last few hours, and he's aware of that. He doesn't want you to cut him out of this operation, even though he's pretty sure that's exactly what you're trying to do. And now finally, the last asset you'll be able to purchase is the Malibu Club. And it's the most expensive in the game, coming to a whopping 120k to purchase. I think it's pretty funny how that's like really expensive for this game, but that's like chump change in GTA Online. This one's probably the most exciting asset out of all of them too. It's just crazy to think that content this solid was completely optional, so many players probably missed out on it entirely. Which is a shame, because this asset is about pulling off a heist.
Tommy! Hey, Tommy, look at this. This is great. I've got us this minibar installed.
We got a whole bar downstairs, Ken.
Yeah, whatever. Well, I got the chalkboard you asked for.
Ah, that's the benefit of a law school education. The ability to follow instructions. Now, I need a safe, man.
Oh, all right. Well, let me think. Safe. I got it. This guy will blow you away. Ah, nah, that schmuck. He's on the inside.
Where inside?
In a police headquarters cell awaiting transfer.
I think he's about to get paroled.
For your first task, you'll have to break into the police station, fight your way through dozens of guards before being able to free a specific inmate who will crack a safe open for you in the actual heist. Or if you take some time to observe your surroundings, you can find a police uniform, which allows you to free him pretty easily. The next member you'll need is a gunman, so you go to the shooting range to meet with a guy named Cassidy, who is probably one of the most known characters in this game despite not being in the main story like at all. He's a loudmouth, crazy-ass redneck who appears in multiple games throughout the franchise.
Oh, Cassidy? Why? I'm looking for a man who can handle a gun. From this setup, I'm not too convinced.
Son, I can shoot a fly off your head at 80 feet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I learned it in the Army.
Fly shooting real popular in the Army? Glad I don't pay tax.
You trying to be funny, kid? Let's shoot!
To convince him to join, you'll have to engage in this annoying ass shooting competition, which means you gotta rely on the jank ass auto aiming to help you get 60 points. Yay! And you'll have to do this multiple times, by the way. But once you finish, he'll immediately agree to help you out. The last crew member you'll need is a driver, so you gotta beat this asshole in a race to get him to agree. Now that the crew's all here, it's officially time to pull off the heist. Tommy makes a simple plan.
The easiest buck we ever made.
Tommy, seriously, you gotta consider going into law.
What the hell are you smoking, man? This ain't no simple plan. Well, who needs a simple plan anyway? Take communism. Now that was a simple plan. Didn't do Russia any favors, huh?
Calm down, all right? With a team like this, it's gonna be no problem. We got Cam on safe. Phil, you and me will handle security. And Hillary will drive the getaway car.
Aren't you forgetting somebody? Somebody who helped you to no end in this town? Somebody
Ken, that's right. Ken here, he washes the money for us. And he keeps the drinks on ice.
I don't understand what I'm supposed to be doing here.
Look, it's easy. Haven't you ever seen a movie? We walk into the bank, we wave the gun around, and leave very rich men.
Crew dresses up like Jason Voorhees and we immediately head to the bank.
This is a raid! Nobody move! Everybody up against that wall!
You control the crowd and kill a couple of guards before finding out that the safe is too high tech for the safe cracker, making it kind of fucking useless, I'm not gonna lie. So you have to go and find the manager and bring him over to the safe so he can unlock it for you.
You, You're coming with me.
Okay, just don't shoot.
You finally get the safe open, but before you can leave, you're ambushed by a SWAT team and have to stand your ground against them before making a break for it. Alright boys, we're home free. There's the car. Shit would be smooth. And the driver's fucking dead. He's just dead. That makes 2 useless members of this team already. You guys get an almost full wanted level once again, and you have to drive as you escape. Because of course you do, it's Grand Theft Auto. But once you do, you'll have officially completed the Malibu Club asset. Or the bank heist asset, I guess? But whatever, now you can make 10k from the Malibu Club every day, which is easily the highest paying asset in the game. I definitely recommend playing through this before you put the game down. Even if you finish the main plot first, just do it, man. It's worth it, trust me. I just love and respect the hell out of the fact that the devs were willing to put this much thought into a bunch of side content. You really don't see stuff like that as much these days. And from this, you'll also unlock the ability to do missions for the man himself, Phil Cassidy. And now is as good a time to talk about that, I guess. For being set in what is basically Florida, this game has not had enough Florida men in it. Cassidy is here to change that. You head over to Cassidy's place, and as soon as you arrive, you fucking
Run!
Jesus fucking Christ, dude! It's always a good sign if someone almost kills you before a mission even begins, right? Tommy's surprisingly calm for almost being blown the fuck up. We ask him about the weapons he promised us forever ago, and he informs us that there's a shipment being made into the city right now, and we gotta go steal that shit. So you take your car over this conveniently placed Hummy? And this mission is super easy. It's one of those car chases where your only goal is to blow their ass up somehow. It doesn't matter how you go about it, and it's usually fun either way. Shooting them, or ramming them, or a little bit of both, who knows? Meeting back up with Cassidy, he's still violently drunk and is working on another bomb. Why is Tommy so trusting of this guy with explosives? We literally almost just died to them 10 minutes ago. He tries to set the bomb off for funsies, but it doesn't work. So he goes to examine it and...
Oh, damn!
Yeah, he just blew his own fucking arm off. If The Dark Knight had been out in the 80s, that movie could have saved him, man. We rush him to the hospital, but due to the amount of boomshine in the air, you're now extremely fucking drunk and swerving all over the place while Phil quickly bleeds out in the passenger seat. It's a wacky ass experience and it's pretty fun. You get him to the hospital, but he refuses to go in, so you have to take him to another place, to this ex-army surgeon instead. Dropping him off, you'll have completed the final asset of the game and also unlock a shit ton of weapons to come take whenever you need them. Alright, what's next then? Oh, that's it. Wait, does that mean we're the... That's right. After all your trials, tribulations, betrayals, and blown up fucking cars, you are now the kingpin of Vice City, baby. You didn't let anybody stop you, not the Haitians or the Cubans or the fucking military, and you sure as hell weren't gonna let a little troll of a man fucking stop you either. You now have more money and more cars and more guns and more drugs than you'll ever know what to do with. I can't possibly see how this could go wrong. Oh. Hang on a second.
Hey, hello, Tommy, we got a situation over at Printworks. You better go and check it out. I don't know, some kind of mess or other. Things are messed up. I gotta go.
Oh, what's that? Situation? Nothing the Kingpin can't handle. Let's just see what's up. Oh, fuck, it's the mob! Guys, it's the fucking mob! That's right, guys, because in case you've forgotten, and chances are you might have since you've been so busy doing fucking everything, Sonny is still very, very mad at you. Throughout the game, he calls you multiple times and getting increasingly more impatient about where his money is. And every time, Tommy gets more and more dismissive as he feels like he doesn't really need Sonny anymore. But now he's fucking pissed and he plans on taking everything back from you. So you'll have to hurry and stop all his fucking mobster goons from going and shaking down all your businesses. When I first did this mission, I actually expected it to be pretty stressful, but it's surprisingly easy. A lot of them are riding around on like motorcycles and scooters, so you can just ram them off the road before they ever even reach your business. But this only serves to piss Sonny off more, as he's now planning on coming directly to your doorstep to take the money back for himself. So you guys gather some counterfeit and hope that it works as a substitute.
Tommy! What? No big hugs for your old buddy?
I've had 15 years out of the loop. I'm a bit rusty on family etiquette.
Oh, he's angry, huh, Tommy? Didn't I say your temper would get you into trouble, huh?
There's 3 mil in the cases.
How many was it, 10? No, 11 men. That's how you get to be called the Howard Butcher.
You sent me to kill one man. One man! They knew I was coming, Sonny.
Tommy, watch your tone. Anyone would think you blame me for that unfortunate set of circumstances.
Just take the money.
Get the damn cash. You know, Tommy, I did what I could for you. I pulled strings, called in favors. I was your friend, Tommy. I hoped you'd see sense, see what's good for business. I trusted you, Tommy, and you disappointed me. But at least someone in your chicken shit organization knows how to do business. Isn't that right, Lance?
Sorry, Tommy. This is Vice City. This is business.
And yep, if things couldn't get any worse, your buddy Lance is a fucking traitor.
Fuck you, Lance. What the fuck's wrong with you, man? God damn it.
If you really think about it though, there's actually a lot of signs from very early on that this was gonna happen. Lance has always been a shady dude. Just look at the way he shows up out of nowhere. Doesn't even explain why he was watching you or who he is. He just comes out of the fucking alleyway. And he's just immediately invested in you as a person, putting his full trust behind you and basically manipulates you into doing all the hard dirty work while he continues to do more cocaine. Near the end of the game anyway, he starts to become way more paranoid and way more agitated as the coke is basically fucking rotted what's left of his brain at this point. He'll occasionally call your phone and tell you how unfair you're being, saying that this operation isn't going fully as well for him or something. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. It's all kind of just incoherent, crazy nonsense. And I guess in this fucking demented state he was in, he actually thought it would be a better idea to try to work for Sonny instead of you. Him thinking at all that Sonny would be a better boss than Tommy is pure insanity and completely stupid on his part, but I don't think it's a riding flaw in any way. Lance just likes to think that he's this big, conniving, crazy villain, when in reality, he's just an asshole dressed in his pajamas.
I heard about Lance. What a little prick, huh?
Yes.
Never trust a man who walks the streets in his pajamas, that's what I say. Glad you killed him. I hope it was painful for the prick.
He thinks he's the master manipulator, but he's actually so over his head and easy to manipulate that Sonny did it with fucking little to no effort. And it's still so funny that these two, even working together, thought that they could stop Tommy Vercetti, the dude who has proven himself to be a one-man army.
Tommy, what was the big plan? You think I just take the fake cash, save face, and run away with my tail between my legs?
No. I just wanted to piss you off before I kill you.
Tommy's not gonna take this lying down. He never does. This mission's a fucking blast, and it's directly inspired by the ending of Scarface. It's so fucking fun, it's hard to even put into words. You have to defend your cash from a shit ton of mobsters before you can finally exact your revenge on both Lance and Sonny individually.
No one to cover your ass now, eh, Tommy? You're going down, you backstabbing prick. Oh, you think so?
Lance attempts to flee up to the roof, so you chase him down and have to fight a shit ton of guys while going up the stairs and also on top of the roof. If these barrels weren't here for you to crouch behind conveniently, you'd probably just be wiped out instantly. Both Lance and Sonny have heightened health bars, so they're basically a mini boss fight, but if you just keep shooting them, they will go down with no problem. They almost get stun locked in a way, it's pretty funny. Going back downstairs, you'll be confronted by Sonny himself, who just kinda disappeared after the cutscene.
You took 15 years from me, Sonny, and now I'm gonna make you pay!
You still don't get it, do you? I own you, Tommy. Those 15 years were mine to spend.
We find out here that Sonny was personally responsible for setting up Tommy 15 years ago. He planned for the job to go wrong just so he can get him out of the way. Tommy's just a toy for him, a car getting out of the shop basically. He ain't shit, and Tommy actually knows this. It's not clear exactly when he finds out Sonny's just using him, but it's pretty early on, hence why he ignored the guy so much throughout the game. But finding out that Sonny was also the reason he was in prison to begin with pisses him off even more. Sonny is definitely the less interesting or even memorable of the game's two final villains, but what he represents is just as important as Lance. The reason that Tommy is able to beat all three of this game's main protagonists is simply because he's just better than them. He takes the action into his own hands, he gets shit done by himself, he doesn't rely on the trust or labor of others to get what he wants, he sees it, he takes it. Meanwhile, someone like Sonny much prefers the old way of handling things. He likes to sit on his ass, do drugs, and have people hand him the money basically. He never earned a single thing, unlike Tommy, he's not nearly as smart or as resourceful. Tommy is the sign that the times are changing, and Sonny just can't keep up, man. So now, he's just gotta fucking die. He's got an even larger health bar than Lance, and he's also wielding one of the best guns in the game, but you can easily beat him if you just hide behind one of the pillars and shoot him from there. Once he goes down, the mobster army subsides, and we finally get to bask in the glory of our hard work. We can now live stress-free as the proper kingpin of Vice City.
Tommy? Oh my God, Tommy, what happened?
What does it look like?
It looks like you ruined your suit, and Tommy, that was a beautiful suit. Tommy, what on earth happened?
Had a disagreement with a business associate. You know how it is.
Tommy, I have a disagreement. I send them an angry letter. Maybe I pee in their mailbox. I don't start World War III. You know, maybe you should speak to my shrink.
That stupid prick Lance.
Tommy, I never liked that guy, okay? He's neurotic, he's insecure, he's self-centered. The guy's an asshole. I'm glad you took him out.
I don't think we're gonna be getting any more heat from up north either. Because there ain't no up north anymore. It's all down south now.
Wait, does that mean what I think it means? Tommy, baby!
What do you think it means?
That we're in charge. I mean that you're in charge. Oh, Tommy!
You know, Ken, I think this could be the beginning of a beautiful business relationship. After all, you're a conniving, backstabbing, two-bit thief, and I'm a convicted psychotic killer and drug dealer.
I know. Ain't it just beautiful?
And that's it. That's the actual ending this time. It's kind of sudden and it happens pretty fucking fast, but I kind of like that element of it. You're not really expecting to get attacked out of nowhere like that, just like an ending of Scarface. And it's really satisfying to put these pricks down for good. But it's also kind of a bittersweet feeling, because finishing this game means that there's not really much game left to play. You can of course 100% it, which gives you unlimited ammo, which is cool in theory, but not really that helpful when there's not much shooting that needs to be done anymore. Your vehicles are now a little stronger, which is nice, and you can even hire bodyguards, which is a cool feature in theory that would be expanded on in San Andreas with the gang system, but having these guys at the very end of the game kind of makes them useless, because unfortunately they're not going to be protecting you for much at all. And look, I'm not trying to frame these things as like a bad thing at all. This just comes with the territory of finishing a game. But whenever I get really into a game like this, especially like a Rockstar title, and I start to get that feeling after a while, I tend to get pretty sad. I get really attached to these worlds, and it always sucks having to say goodbye to them. And this one was so hard that I had to make this entire fucking video. I'm so legitimately glad that I finally decided to revisit and finish this game all these years later. Not only was it satisfying and fun as hell for adult me, but my childhood self was having a fucking blast. Playing and falling in love with this 22-year-old game has reminded me why I loved video games to begin with. All the different worlds you could see, the characters you'd meet, the adventures that you would have were almost limitless, and it's amazing. I think playing this just reminds me of that exciting feeling you got as a child when you realize that games have more to offer than just being hour-long distractions. They can be funny, they can be intense, they can make you laugh or piss you the fuck off. They can be really hard, but they can also be so rewarding. Play Vice City, okay? I don't know what else to say. But just don't play the fucking shitty definitive edition. Why did y'all let this happen? Why did you put a fucking mobile branch in charge of your remake?
For the pussy! That's why! When your best friend's a lawyer and you're taking advice from a Texan crook, you know things ain't going well. What did I do wrong in a past life?
Tommy! Tommy, it's been too long. So how'd the deal go down? You sitting on some white gold?
Look, Sonny, we were set up.
Better be kidding me, Tommy! Tell me you still got the money.
No, Sonny. I don't have the money.
That was my money, Tommy! My money!
You have my personal assurance that I'm gonna get you your money back, and the drugs, and I'm gonna mail you the dicks of those responsible.
Hey, I already know that.
There's this limey, some music industry slimeball. Goes by the name of Kent Paul. Anyway, he's got his nose so far up most of Vice City's ass that if anybody knows the whereabouts of 20 keys of coke, it's this guy, all right?
I'm missing 20 keys and a lot of cash.
Drugs, mate? It's a mugs game.
What do you know about it?
Wait, well, what I was coming to was, there's some chef come trumpet shifter who deals that kitchen of a hotel on Ocean Drive.
What you looking at? You better start talking. Hey, make me, you prick.
Oh, way to go, tough guy. Beat him to a pulp. That should make him real chatty.
You want some too?
Hey, chill. I want what you want, brother. No need to go all long range on my ass. The way I see it, we two hombres in a strange time.
Health now, huh?
Whoa, watch where you're waving that thing.
No more pigeon shit on my car, eh, Tommy?
Guess not.
We need to watch each other's back.
My back's just fine, brother.
You lie?
Yeah, I like.
Diaz! I come to take over your business!
Tommy, you betrayed me, you idiot! I'm gonna kill you real soon!
Tommy.
Sonny.
Obviously you are suffering from hearing problems, so I'll try again. Where's the goddamn money? Where's the goddamn stuff? And where's my gun? Are you new action? You're making an idiot out of me, Tommy, and I'm not laughing yet.
Tommy, what was the big plan? You think I just take the fake cash, save face, and run away with my tail between my legs?
No. I just wanted to piss you off before I kill you.
It would be damn near impossible for me to make a video about Vice City and just completely ignore it. This shit's ass, man. I originally wasn't going to talk about this game at all aside from passing mention in other parts of the video, but it feels like it fits the theme of this video for me to talk about this fucking wretched piece of shit. Because in a weird way, as the original Vice City made me love video games again while playing it, this one made me realize why I have such beef with the current state of video games in general. Because I think this whole game is a definitive example of how lazy and rushed a lot of new AAA games are, especially remakes and remasters. This game was infamously broken upon release, and it has improved a little bit since then as Rockstar's gone back and made some patches and stuff, but that doesn't change the fact that this shit still had one of the worst launches I think I've ever seen, possibly worse than Cyberpunk. Yeah, from the moment everyone got their hands on this game, they just realized that Rockstar didn't care about the quality of this at all or the way it turned out. They just wanted to make it in general to make some more money, I guess. And it's disappointing too because it's not like Rockstar or Take-Two is in any way, shape, or form hurting for money. Just look at the fucking cash whale that is GTA Online and tell me that that company needed to push this out because they really needed the revenue. And this game is ugly, like really ugly. I know the original isn't like much of a looker or anything. The graphics are definitely dated, but I don't know, I still have a pretty strong appreciation for a lot of the color schemes and pastel kind of looks that this game has. I think it's pretty nice. Any personality that this 22-year-old game had at all is completely wiped away in the remaster. It kind of has this melted plastic look to it, and don't get me started on that fucking rain. You know your rain is bad when Goat Simulator Remastered goes out of its way to mock it in the trailers. Not only is this shit vision obscuring, it just doesn't have the same impact that the real rain from the original game had. Looking around when it was raining in Vice City, you could kind of feel the humidity in the air. This really did feel like a proper Florida storm, but this just feels fucking weird. Why is it so white? Is it raining fucking cum?
What?
Dude, that's so gross. Ew, oh, that's so gross. This graphic style also brings out a lot of the map and level designs age, as you notice how blocky a lot of things look in this texture. It is cool how much the render distance has improved now that you can see basically everything, but it also has its downsides because it allows you to see just how small in scale this map actually is when you really stop to like examine it, you know? Because while you're out there exploring and in the thick of it, it feels like a pretty huge city, but then you take an outward look at it and you're like, oh, this is really not that much bigger than the map from Bully or something. I mean, the driving is fine at least. It's basically what you'd expect, and the shooting has improved ever so slightly. The lock-on is definitely a lot more reliable, but I don't really like the way it looks, to be honest. It slaps this white highlight around somebody, and then you get this little reticle on their chest, and I don't know, I'm just not a fan of it. I think I prefer the one from San Andreas, if anything, honestly. But you could have also just gave us aiming more in the vein of like GTA 5. I'm sure it couldn't have been that hard to rope that in somehow. This is somewhat on topic, so if you want an example for why this remake or remaster, whatever, pissed me off so much, just take a look at the Mafia 1 remake, because that's what I thought this was gonna be. The game kept all the great aspects of the original, the charm, the story, and then just improved on everything else that was stated. The shooting feels better, the driving feels better, the game is beautiful compared to the original. If you are going to do a remake of something like this, that is how you should do it. In a way, the Vice City remaster kind of made me hate video games a few years ago, or at least the current state of them. But finally going back and finishing this game after I've been playing it since my childhood has kind of revived my love for gaming in a way. I feel like I know this city like the back of my hand and the characters that live in it. I feel like if I'm having a bad day, I can just retreat to this like second home of the world that I have made in this video game. It's not a great world, but it's one that I fucking love. But I guess I'll just end this video by saying Vice City probably is one of my favorite games of all time. It might even be my favorite, and I know I've said that a few times before, but I'm serious this time. That's why I spent so fucking long on this video. I wanted it to be the best video I had made, and personally, I think it is. This is my love letter to Vice City as a whole. The game that has helped me out of so many low points in my life, and the game that I can always turn to when I feel alone and just fucking empty. A game that can not only remind me of simpler times as a kid, but a game that can just make me feel relaxed and honestly safe in a way. Anytime I'm having a shitty day, I just put in that old Xbox copy into my 360, start driving around on those streets, and then all of a sudden just it's so much better, isn't it? Reincarnated. I'm a star. I'm not joking when I say that this might be one of my favorite games ever made, like top 5. I think ever since I was a kid, GTA Vice City has been one of my favorites. Everything works about this game for me, from the memorable characters to the bright and vibrant setting. God, I love that setting. I feel like this game strikes a perfect balance between the video gaming aspect of the series and the well-written story. They never tend to distract from one another, rather they work in unison to make this game flow more naturally. Similar to the third game, there's so many different ways to go about your task. It's not just park in this exact spot, or follow this exact car, or do this exact fucking boring minigame. Don't get me wrong though, these still exist in this game like they do in every GTA game. I find this to be one of the most replayable in the entire franchise because I'm allowed to just experiment and see all the different crazy ways I can do things. For example, I kept repeatedly dying on this mission where you gotta kill the gangster surrounded by dudes before he can escape in his car. I died so many times that I was dead fucking broke and couldn't even afford to buy a pistol. So I used my noggin and remembered that, hey, one time when I played as a kid I found an RPG over in this random swimming pool. I wonder if that's still there. And sure enough, and instead of trying to kill this guy from the front this time, I snuck around to the back alley, stood up on top of a fucking car and just shot him with a goddamn rocket launcher.
For the pussy, that's why.